Super Bowl bye week. And your team's in the Super Bowl. Dude, great time of the year. Thank you guys so much for coming aboard here each and every single day. There's so many other options for you guys to go to. And you come here, growing the show as much as you possibly do. We appreciate it. Please hit the like button. All supers, as you know, go to the top. We start the show off with big sales in. What a big time of the year, man. Super Bowl 59. Here you are, right? I mean, the storylines are going to be crazy these next 2 weeks. I mean, there is so much content because of these two teams. The storylines, like I said, the sidebar stories. Kansas City going for a three-peat. Jalen Hurts going back to his second Super Bowl. The content about the coaches. Nick Sirianni, Andy Reid, the city, the fan bases. It's absolutely awesome here, man. By the way, we are going to be giving away a Zach Bond jersey in the 3:30 segment with our friend Xander Krause, co-host of Birds 365. So make sure you're there. You have to subscribe. So please, just hit that subscription now. Just hit that button, subscription button, and you guys get an opportunity to subscribe and win yourself an opportunity at getting that Zach Bond jersey. And you could make the argument he's been the best player. Isn't that funny? The Eagles easily could have the best player in the NFL on both sides of the football, Barkley and Bond. And they were both free agents. That's a feather in the cap of Howie Roseman, okay? They were both free agents. They were both free agents, and they all turned out to be first-team All-Pro. You never hear that. That doesn't happen like that. Free agents don't parachute in and put a Superman cape on and become a dominant player on one respective side of the ball. It does not happen. It's totally, Trey, a W and a win for Howie Roseman. There's no question about it, man. That's a gigantic victory for Howie Roseman. So, hey, by the way, you know why I want you guys, and you know how I always get on you guys for not acting like champions? You know, you guys are sitting around and you're like M. Reyes going 15-3, whatever the hell it is. You know, you guys act like that, right? So you got a host on WIP that made the comment. I don't even know who he is. I've never heard of his name. And if Big Sills hasn't heard your name, you're a nobody. So this guy wants, if the Eagles win, hey, you want to know if the Eagles own a radio station? This is how you know. One of the hosts on that station said, if Nick Sirianni wins the Super Bowl, they should carry his ass off like Rudy. I was like, wait on here, man. So Nick Sirianni's the Rudy of NFL coaches. Carry him off the field. Are you crazy? Dude, it's the NFL. This isn't St. Joe's Prep. No disrespect to my friend Xander. You carry high school coaches off. You don't carry coaches off the field anymore. That shit's gone, dude. Holy cow. This guy wants to turn Nick Sirianni into the Rudy of NFL coaches. Come on, man. Yeah. Oh, my God. I don't even know who the guy is. I saw a quote. Somebody sent it to me. And I was like, this guy's actually on the air? And he recommended that. And I was like, Jesus Christ. If I was this guy's co-host, I'd have looked over at him and went, why don't you carry me to the toilet? Yeah. Holy shit, man. You got to be jacked up, though. But, hey, I'm like, holy cow, man. Let's carry Nick off the field if he wins the Super Bowl. Give him the Gatorade bath. That's what people do with tradition if you win it. They don't get carried off the field. They don't carry Vince Lombardi. The last guy that was carried off the field like that was Lombardi. That was 1968. And it was his last game in Green Bay. Holy. Oh, man, I tell you. The kids today that do fuck Xander just started doing it. He's got more on it. I don't know, man. Some of the people that do sports talk today, I know why radio's in the toilet. Because you got guys like that on the air. Holy shit, man. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. We are going to have part of the broadcast team for the Kansas City Chiefs and former NFL Rookie of the Year. I think he's 7th in sacks in Kansas City. Used to be an analyst for Fox Sports. A Pitt All-American. Bill Maas will join us once again, and he'll join the program at 4:30 Eastern. So we'll get a look on the other side of what Kansas City's going to bring to the table in Super Bowl 59 in 2 weeks. So Bill's going to join us at 4:30. We're going to give a jersey away, a Zach Bond jersey, at 3:30 in that segment. Please hit the like button. We appreciate everybody. All right. Let's do something random here. My God Almighty, I pray to God that M. Reyes is not in here. But then again, he was pretty right. Okay? He was pretty right this past week when he put 53-7 or whatever the hell it was in his predictions here. By the way, hey, Prince, it's good to see you're out, Prince. I swear to you, man, yesterday prior to the program, me and Xander were like this. Hey, man, how many weeks or how many months do you think Prince was in the can? And I'm like, I don't know, man. What do you mean? He goes, I haven't seen him. All of a sudden, he parachutes back in. And so Xander goes, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know, man. He probably had a suspended license. And I don't know. Prince was probably in the can for about 35 days. But then again, that's the kind of people we love here watching the National Football Show. I love you, Prince. Hey, where did Prince go? Hey, the kind of people that watch the Sileo show, we're from Philly, man, and I had to do 35 days in the can because of suspended license. Sign him up, man. Get that guy a jersey. Get him a Saquon Barkley jersey. We're ready to rock. We're ready to rock, baby. How you doing, man? Big Sills, what do you expect from the Eagles' upcoming Super Bowl performance? Prediction on the score. I like that. We're going to do a pre-one here. Rich here in a second. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Oh, Bruce, I love those kind of sayings. Yeah, hey, Prince, thank you. All of a sudden, Prince was doing such a great job in keeping tabs on the likes. All of a sudden, he went away. We're like, yeah, suspended license 35 days. He probably talked shit to him, too, out the window, and they probably gave him an extra 15. Hey, I tell you what, that's a great idea. Trump pardoned him. He thought wait a minute. Wait a minute, Xander. I got it now. Prince just got pardoned because he was a January 6th guy. Xander, he was a January 6th guy. Now we know. Hell, man. Yeah, all of a sudden the pardons came. Biden's out of office and Prince is back. This guy got a January 6th pardon. All right, man. We're going to get into it. Please hit the like button. We appreciate you guys coming aboard here, man. Thank you guys so much, man. That's cool. All good. McCaffrey's still better than Barkley. Arthur, no. Hey, okay, Arthur, you beat me down. No. Yeah, man, unfortunately. Hey, Prince they knocked on his cell door. Hey, Prince, how you doing? Things good? Yeah, it's good. President just pardoned you. You go back to the Sileo show now. You're ready to rock. Hey, you sure? Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, we're going to let you out. Trump wants you out to make sure you get back to the Sileo show. They're on JAKIB Sports. What do you think, Xander? This guy was a January 6th guy, wasn't he? All right, we're good. Let's go. Big week. Bye. Next week, Super Bowl. Hit the like button. All right. Give me some random scores. And then we'll see if that changes next week. With some of the things that we'll hear, we'll see, the preparation, score. I'll give you one too. And I think it'll change over these next 2 weeks. 42-17. I'm not thinking it's there. Okay? I'm not thinking it's there. Kyle goes, Sills, I got 28-24. Look at William. Dude, that's awesome, William. Thank you very much. $10, man. By the way, just so you guys know, nobody at JAKIB pockets this money you guys send. Okay? This money goes into the channel to keep it going. I just want to make sure we're always keeping you guys cognizant of that. Okay? This goes into the channel to keep us all going here. All of us. It's pretty cool, man. Maybe a little bit there. I'm not going to lie. The building tilts a little on Friday, so it's all right. I get it. Xander's like, Jesus. Xander, you know what it's, the Venmo thing? There's no V on Venmo because he's hit it so many times. It's just Enmo. Where's it's Enmo. Hey, yeah, by the way, hey, do me a favor here. If you feel you want to leave a tip, and don't smoke in bed's not counting, have at it. We appreciate it. Tips are welcome here. Thank you. How you doing? All right, here, I'll give you a random score here. I think it's going to be somewhere in the room of 30-28. Something like that. I'm not going to tell you who I'm picking yet, but I think it's going to be somewhere in the 30-28 room. So I think it's going to be like a 50, a little bit less than 60 points in this game. Okay, so you're with me. Okay, Kyrie, you're with me, right? You think this is going to be a high-scoring game, 47-38. Sue says definitely close. I'm with you, Sue. I think it's going to be somewhere like that, 30-28. Kyrie's got a little bit higher here at 47-38 Birds, okay? Dude, the Birds go into this game, and we're going to take a look at it. We got a bunch of stuff here, man. 2024 Kansas City Chiefs, how they match up in Super Bowl 59 versus the Eagles. The reasons why the Eagles got back to the Super Bowl 2 years ago to today, how they got here. The biggest storylines in Super Bowl 59, the 10 best players in the Super Bowl between both teams. I ranked them. Okay? And the most improved Eagles. So we're going to get to all those topics here in a second here. Now, I think we should start out here with the Kansas City Chiefs and the 2024 Chiefs and who they are. I'll tell you, if there's a year to catch them, it's this year. Hit that like button, guys. Please do me a favor. All supers go to the top. Because I think they really had an underwhelming season when it came to their numbers and what they did. I know you're going to turn around and go, Sills, look at their wins. And that Denver game at the end of the year, that could have been a one-loss football team this year. I agree. It's great coaching and situational football that they play. And I'll show you what I mean by situational football. The Eagles pretty much dominated in every aspect, both offensively and defensively this year compared to what the Eagles or Kansas City did. The Eagles, I think, outside of the passing game, probably had a better year. Look, Chiefs, 2024. Total offense. They're 16th this year. 327. Eagles 367. The Eagles are 8th. Eagles got them there. They've had a better total offensive year. Isn't that crazy? The Eagles are 8th in total offense with one of the shittiest passing attacks in modern NFL Super Bowl history. I'm not telling you don't have the talent. I'm just telling you had a shitty year throwing the ball. You could dissect. We're not dissecting it today. That's not where we're going here. This is not a 4-hour show on the shitty passing game. You had a shitty year. Only chance Birds have is to win by 2 scores. I'm not going to lie, Arthur. Yes, man. In the NFL, they didn't even have a conversation after the Bills and Chiefs game like they always do, a pool where they had questions that they answered about the refereeing and some of the situational calls that were in that game. There were about 4 of them that I thought swung the game towards the Chiefs. They didn't even want to take questions after the AFC Championship game. That is usually unheard of. There was no transparency there. That wasn't a good look for the league. The league didn't want to put the refs in the position to have to answer for some of the shit calls they made. I think it creates more of the drama for the Super Bowl, which at the end of the day, controversy is great and it sells. Okay? Still going with the Birds 31-17. Been beating the refs all year, Sills. Absolutely, Arthur. Flexen, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. This is the most vulnerable season that we could take advantage of when he's talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. Absolutely. Please hit that like button. Passing. I mean, get this. Kansas City's 14th with Patrick Mahomes this year. They're 14th. Look, they may be 14th, but he's the best arm in the league. So always remember that. The numbers don't matter with Mahomes. Kind of like the numbers don't matter with Hurts in so many ways, right? It's funny. Both passers, the numbers don't matter. Jalen gets that too, right? Jalen gets that too. As much as I think it's a shitty passing attack, you're in the Super Bowl. You've only lost 3 ball games, right? I mean, okay. Well, the passing attack didn't matter for him either then, Dan. Now, look, wait. There's a difference over there in Kansas City. There's championships that they have on their mantle. You don't have championships outside of the NFC Championship games, which I think are the second crown jewel that any quarterback can win as a conference title. It's the second crown jewel when it comes to what a quarterback can do for your team. You can't dismiss those, and I don't dismiss those. Even appearances, you can't dismiss them. Eagles are 29th in passing. Well, if Kansas City's 14th and they got Mahomes, does that matter? No. Well, the Eagles are 29th and they got Hurts. Does it matter? I think you got to land on the same pod with him. No. Rushing. I think this is a big deal here because rushing is play action in today's NFL. You can't run the ball. You can't have play action football. And Kansas City's 22nd. Man, so you're 22nd, and I think that had a lot to do with their play action this year. They couldn't get really a running game going because Pacheco was hurt the majority of the season. Eagles are second. You want to know something, though? In the playoffs, the Eagles are averaging 227 yards a game, almost 228 yards a game so far in the playoffs. It's fucking unbelievable. 200 yards a game, you're beating people up. That's great. Scoring. I mean, these numbers are very mediocre for Kansas City. You had a great record. They're 15th in scoring. The Eagles are 7th at 27. And obviously in the playoffs with that 55 burger they put up, they're up there amongst the top teams in the NFL with putting big numbers up now. Red zone, 22nd. Not great. They're a situational football team, to say the least. Okay? Seals, Birds ran for 45 yards and 17 carries in Super Bowl 57. Sanders got popped, fumbled on the first play of the game. It wasn't the same after. That won't be the same with Barkley. I happen to agree with you. I got some bold predictions later on in the program, too, we're going to do. Please hit the like button, guys. Third down, they're great, Chiefs. They're second in the NFL, 48%. The Eagles are 10th. Dude, the Eagles across the board offensively are more efficient, but they have Mahomes. He's the equalizer here. I said this about Jalen Hurts. I saw a poll somewhere. I can't remember what radio station had this poll up. Did Jalen Hurts reverse your? No, Jalen Hurts is not an elite passer. He's a really good football player. There's a difference. Okay? There's a difference. He's a really good football player. Is it me, or is no one talking about Barkley being 40 yards away from Terrell Davis's rushing record of over 2,400 yards? I think somebody brought that up yesterday, Mike. I think somebody brought that up. He's not an elite passer. You can stop that shit. I'm not going to debate that. Okay, I'm not debating that. Okay, the story of the year has been put out there. Right? I'm not debating it. The numbers speak for themselves. Okay, and the wins speak to something different. Okay, let me say this to you. If Jalen Hurts doesn't have Saquon Barkley in the backfield, the Birds win 10 games. They win 10 games. If Kenny Gainwell or Miles Sanders or DeAndre Swift are your running backs, you win 10, 11 games. Right? He's not going to throw you to the Super Bowl because that's not how you got here this year. You got here running the ball to get to the Super Bowl. Okay? All right. Defense. This is where it gets a little interesting. Total defense, the Chiefs are 9th. The Eagles are 1st. I told you this before. Top 10, if you're in that top 10, you pretty much got the same team. However, having the crown jewel of being the number 1 defensive team overall, of course I give you the kudos and I give you the advantage. Pass defense, they're 18th. Will they take advantage in this game, Philadelphia, with their pass game? Eagles are number 1 in pass defense. You're going to need that against Patrick Mahomes. Okay? Rush defense, they're 8th. That's great. They're going to need it against Philly. You've got to do everything in your power to stop Saquon Barkley. Here's another story of, listen, what's the number 1 priority heading into this game? It's not stopping Jalen Hurts. It's stopping Saquon Barkley. Barkley is the engine to this thing. Everyone else they're a Christmas ball on a tree here. The root of that team is the O-line and Barkley. And then the third is the defense. Hurts is the 4th guy in that conversation. Personally, I don't think Kansas City has to stop Barkley. They have to slow Barkley. Red zone, they're 8th. They're great in that. Eagles are 5th. Dude, the Eagles have sensational numbers defensively across the board here. Okay, sensational numbers. Had one of the best years in Eagle history, or at least during the Super Bowl era. One of the greatest they had this season. These numbers are absolutely sensational. 1st in total, 1st in pass, 10th in rush, 2nd in scoring, 5th in red zone, 3rd in 3rd down. All of that is exceptional. All that being said, unfortunately, Vic Fangio, from what I'm hearing, is not going to win the Assistant of the Year. It's going to go to Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions. Remember, these are seasonal awards. It's going to go to Ben because this is an offensive league. They had the number 1 offense in the NFL. Okay, and that's right. Defensive guys don't get a lot of love. Okay, now he may win the top assistant defensive coach of the year, which I think it's a slam dunk if that happens. But unfortunately, so across the board here, the Eagles have the better advantage across the board against Kansas City, but you had the same advantage in 22. Okay, you had the same advantage. It came down to Spagnuolo. And it came down to Reid. and it came down to Mahomes. You were beat by Juju Smith-Schuster, who, by the way, is on the team again. Their corners do not stink. Whoever said that Trent McDuffie, an all-pro, stinks? Not true. Big Seals, I've seen Jim Brown, Gale Sayers, the Kansas Common. The one thing they'll all have in common is their vision. He's got great vision. He's got great mobility, and the way he runs the football, okay? Xander says that McMullen thinks that McDuffie's the best corner in the league. Hey, help me out on something. Isn't that the guy I wanted you guys to draft instead of Jordan Davis? Isn't that the guy I wanted you to draft? As a matter of fact, the last 3 drafts, I said this. I said, Trent McDuffie. The following year, I thought I said Kyle Hamilton, who's in Baltimore now. And then this last year, I said Chop Robinson or Jared Verse from Florida State because I thought you needed an edge. And Chop and Verse were absolutely sensational this year. But hey, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, no doubt that's a push. You get that. Okay? Absolutely. Vic Fangio's 0-8 versus the Chiefs. I thought he was 0-8, versus Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes has never lost to Vic Fangio, either him as a head coach or a coordinator. As a matter of fact, in 24 years that Vic Fangio's been a coordinator, Vic's never won a Super Bowl. I think he's been to the game, but I don't think he's ever won a Super Bowl ring. So this will be his first opportunity. This is his great opportunity here because this is a really good unit. And from where it came from to where it is to now, it's one of the greatest coaching jobs I've ever seen. It really is. It's truly one of the greatest jobs I've ever seen. Hit the like button, guys. Do me a favor. Give me a total on our likes now. Yesterday, you were crazy great. We got over 600 likes. You guys were incredible, man. God, there's so much content. Don't forget at 4:30, we're going to have Bill Maas with us, part of the broadcast team for the Kansas City Chiefs. And at 3:30, we're going to give away during the Xander Krause segment a Zach Bond jersey. So subscribe. All you have to do is hit that subscription number, hit that number, and you guys will, or hit that button, and you guys will subscribe and you're part of this. I didn't realize that Xander told me a couple weeks ago, half the people that watch the program don't subscribe. Guys, just hit the damn button. At 129, guys, let's pick it up a little bit here, man. 140? Thank you, guys. That's better. Like, I'd like to be around 150 at the bottom of the hour here. So please hit the like button here. All right. Let's get into this one here. Man, I love these topics. This is one of the greatest times of the year talking about championship football. The reasons the Eagles made it back to the Super Bowl. I've got about 10 of them. Eagles Super Bowl win. Sileo in a Jalen jersey. We'll talk about it. If you win, I told you what I was going to do that Super Bowl Monday. I'm going to put you stunads on, you dumbasses on. Okay? I'm going to put you dumbasses on, and you get your shot at me. I've never done this. Never done it. Hit the like button here. My reasons for you getting back. We're going to do these with Xander here too. This will be at 3:30. Do that Tuesday. Yeah, probably so Tuesday. Because I got to get a reaction, and then we'll do it Tuesday. So we'll set the date. Oh, and by the way, don't lose. Big Sills is either going to be right or you're going to be wrong. Or Big Sills is going to be wrong and you're going to be right. That's how we do sports talk. There ain't no fence straddling. Fence straddling hurts the old taint. There ain't no taint riders in here. How you doing? Even Sue has a gigantic set of couillons. How you doing? Even Sue swings a big set of couillons. How you doing? It's either you win or you lose. There's no bell curve. Here on the Big Sills Show, the National Football Show, there's no bell curve. Okay? All right, Sills, you absolutely were doing it, man. This is Sills Nation, baby. Richard, I like the Big Sills Army. You don't know how many pictures have been sent to me from people in Philadelphia right now. Center City, all over down to South Philly. People are going, Sills, I'm coming for you. We're going to win the Super Bowl, you shit-talking piece of shit. I love you. And I'm going, that's great. Dude, Bubba Army. I like that. I forgot about Bubba the Love Sponges Army. That's right. That's right, man. I'm a fan of Bubba, man. Even though Bubba and I can't stand one another, man, he did a great radio show forever. I'm a fan of Bubba the Love Sponge. Used to be boys. Absolutely, man. Hit that like button, guys. I appreciate you. All right. Here are some of my reasons why the Eagles got back to the Super Bowl. And you guys tell me if you agree with this. Number one, in my reasons and why you got back here, best O-line in the business. And this is not close. I take it back. Detroit does not have a better O-line than you. No way. No way. I love Penei Sewell. I don't care. I don't care. You are officially, you win it. You're the best O-line. The O-line has not had their ass handed to them in any game this year. I saw Detroit get their shit kicked in by the Skins. Sorry, you don't get that distinction. You lost that when you lost that divisional game. No, see, get this. Senor says I'm flip-flopping because somebody proved me wrong and Washington went up to Detroit. It's called fucking being wrong, dickbag. It's called being wrong. Of course, Senor's never been wrong. So, no, here's what he wants me to say. Detroit's the best O-line in football, knowing full well they're not. And the Eagles have proved it getting to the Super Bowl. They're the better O-line. What a stupid ass. You know what he is? He must be 75 years old and sticks to them old fucking takes like Howard Eskin and shit. Okay? Yeah, no, Senorita and John McMullen are never wrong. We win the Super Bowl. All members chip in $5 to go towards Sills in a Hurts jersey. Love your show. Insight on the game. All good, Big Sills. Devin, I appreciate that. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you very much. Tell you what, we might have, if you win the Super Bowl, Big Sills might have to do a special show from Philly. Fuck the Super Bowl. Philly. Okay? Philly. Who's the Sills? You want to go to New Orleans or Philly? Philly. I want to go to a place that people celebrate sports. I mean, I'd want to go to Philly. Dude, I never told you I was an Eagle fan, but I have become a Philadelphia sports fan. Not your teams. I used to love the Flyers and Sixers. Okay? I won't lie. I used to love the Flyers and Sixers. When I was a kid growing up, the only reason I liked the Sixers because of Dr. J, because he played with the Nets, and I was an ABA guy. That's a must, Kyrie. Okay? And in the Flyers, I love Bobby Clark. But then when the Islanders came in, I stopped liking the Flyers. But that's probably the only teams that I ever really rooted for. Flyers and Sixers. Now I never touch and talk about the Sixers unless I'm talking about that asshole Josh Harris. Man, I really think we will run over or run. Man, I really think we will run our game on Kansas City for 200 yards rushing and 200 yards passing, create 2 turnovers, and win 28-17, Darth Vader says. I'm going to tell you, man, I think Barkley goes – I'll bury the lead. I think Barkley goes for 200 yards rushing too. I think Barkley goes for 200 yards rushing in this game. Dude, he has not been stopped. Okay? He has not been stopped. Bob Brown, love his takes. Do us a favor. When you compare the Eagles and Chiefs, compare our offense to the defense and D to their own. Those matchups are key. We'll do that this week, I promise you. Okay? I promise you. Best O-line in the business. You own it. Isn't it ironic? You had the best O-line and D-line in the 17 Super Bowl. You might have it again. I don't think you have a better D-line in Kansas City. Chris Jones is better than Jalen Carter. He's better. And they've got a prolific pass rusher. And your guy, Nolan Smith, is coming. He is. Okay? But Chris Jones is better. Carter will be better. He will be. But he's not. That's right. Not for long. Chris Jones destroyed the Super Bowl last year. He made an enormous play in the game for the Chiefs to win it and put it in overtime. I really don't see how we lose if we take care of the pill. Barkley, Super Bowl MVP. Possibly. Man, I think Barkley goes for 200 yards. Still off topic, but speaking about Louisiana, we'll love to see that crazy Cajun coach Ogeron on your show one day. He's been on. Sales, I know, man. What? Yeah. The problem with getting Coach O on, he likes to chase the who. You know what I mean? Coach O didn't lose his job because he was a shitty coach at LSU. He lost his job because he was chasing it. How you doing, everybody? Hey, this is Big O. I love Coach Ogeron, man. Everybody know that we're going to Big O. Hey, we're Cajun down there. Come over here. Sit on my lap. How you doing? I'm Santa Claus of LSU. I do love Coach O, man. Barkley going to leave it all out there. How about John Mara watching Barkley in the Super Bowl now? Must hurt. You think? Holy shit, Gabe. Absolutely. Here's number 2. The reasons why you've gotten back to the Super Bowl. Please hit the like button. Vic Fangio has turned your defense into an aggressive, fast-running defensive football team. It's even more aggressive than what you had in 22. It's more aggressive, and it's fast. This defense is faster than 22. You're faster. You've got more energy. I think it's the youth kids. And get this, you got a zone defense that's aggressive. That doesn't usually plug in. When you say zone defense, to me, that is like bend but don't break guys. But they run to the football. They put a hat on people. They're aggressive. It's an aggressive group. Number 3. And this goes to what I just said. The drafting of the rookies. Guess what they did? And I went back last night, and I'm going to do it. Howie deserves credit. They drafted players to fit on both sides of the football to their systems. Do you guys remember I played a soundbite? I want to play something for you. And by the way, this is from JAKIB, Xander, so we don't have to worry about anything here. This is our own content. I want to play something for you. This is something that you guys have done that has been different compared to other people when it comes to drafting guys. Here it is. I can't find it here, but I'll say this. Do you guys remember when Rich McKay came on and said this? You know, it's kind of hard when you're drafting somebody. Look at you, Dan. We drafted a guy, and we drafted a player like yourself that didn't fit what we were doing with a 34. I think what they did, they drafted all of these players. They fit exactly what they're doing on both sides of the ball. What did they do that was the most important thing with those corners? You know what they did with DeJean and with Quinyon Mitchell? They drafted players that were zone cover corners in college. That's what they did. They drafted those. Here it is. And this is our content, Xander.
Of change. And so for us, we knew in changing the coach and the GM that you're going to.
This is from us.
Change schemes. All of a sudden, players don't fit as well. I mean, you played inside DT. You know when you change schemes and you go from one gap to two gap. Dan Sileo, that used to be a one gap player, is going to have to hit two gaps. All of a sudden, it's not going to be so good. So you know that's happened to us, right? And that causes a reset with some of the personnel. But I think the one thing is where you feel comfortable.
See what he's saying there? That's the president of the Atlanta Falcons. That was Rich McKay. Okay? I'm going to send it to Xander here. I'm going to send this to Xander. Because when you understand what Rich is saying, they drafted me to play nose. This is the biggest flawed mistake that a lot of people make. By the way, I'll catch up on the supers here. This is the biggest flaw people make as a mistake. They'll draft a kid because the kid's good in college, but then they'll try to fit him in like a Bryce Huff, and he doesn't fit in. Bryce Huff was a mistake because he didn't fit the system. They thought he was going to, and he didn't fit it. That's how players either make it. I think it's where you're drafted that some of these rookies either make it or they don't make it. If you don't have the system, okay, you don't have the system, you're not going to make it. One thing we can say that the inner excellence ain't help out AJ with that shuffle with the Lattimore gotta love aggressive players and a team. Absolutely. Abe, I agree. Joseph, thank you very much. Xander, I missed some super chats. I want to make sure we hit those supers, man. Thank you guys so much. The one thing we can say that the inner excellence ain't help out AJ with that shuffle with Lattimore. Gotta love aggressive players and team. They are very aggressive. People said in Georgia, Nolan was the leader and got the guys going. I think we're starting to see that rub off on everyone. He plays ball with a lot of energy. Absolutely. People, and I agree, Anthony. He is playing with a lot of energy now. Please hit that like button. My point is that you guys are drafting players to your system, and the free agents you're bringing guys to fit into what you want to do. That's why those rookies had an easy transition. Sean, thank you very much. Sills, the soft guys in Miami need to know how you doing from Vic. No shit. I posted that. You got that paper mache wood defense down there and that soft-ass Miami Dolphin mentality down there. No wonder your football team is known as a knockoff Rolex. You got a bunch of young kids up there playing their ass off. You got the number one defense, and you got guys bitching at Vic. Vic won that argument. They did a really nice job at finding guys to fit what they're doing in their system. Kudos. Kudos. Here's something to think about, too, and why they got back to the Super Bowl. Can you name me another team? Maybe the 49ers. Right? When healthy. Who's got the best duo wideout? When healthy, a top 5 tight end, a top running back, maybe the best. Okay? and a quarterback who's winning a ton of games. Every single skilled position the Eagles have on offense has got a top 10 dude there. Right? Now, you could debate the quarterback where you see him, but he's one of the top. Dude, the winning, you can't dismiss it. You can't dismiss the winning. Is there any other team in the NFL where you go like this, at every position, at the skill set guys? Kansas City has none of that. Travis Kelce's not a top 5 tight end anymore. I mean, he's on the other side of the rainbow here. This guy's on the back 9. Okay, I mean, right? Nobody like that in Buffalo. Maybe Detroit. Maybe. I think this is one of the main reasons why you got back to the Super Bowl. You got quality players at all skill positions on offense. This is a crazy one. Howie Roseman, second time in 3 years that he's hit on at least 85% of the acquisitions and draft that he has had in the last 3 years. Okay? Do you remember in 2022? Remember what I said? What was the month, Xander? It might have been April, right after the draft, or maybe even before that. I went the Eagles are going to Super Bowl. I was like the first guy in your market to go, the Eagles are going to Super Bowl. I think they built themselves a roster. They went out, they got Kaiser. Telesco, when he was the GM of the Chargers, did not want to let him go. You got Reddick, a sack monster. You were bringing guys in, and none of them failed. Even Linville Joseph and Dominican Sue. I said it right at it. I was the first dude to go, Eagles are going to Super Bowl. They're going to Super. They got the best roster in football, and you did. That 23 hit. It was trash cans at linebacker. The whole Reddick thing started falling. Really, if you think about it with Hassan Reddick, don't you think it started falling apart probably the last 8 weeks of the season, and then into the offseason it was over? That thing probably fell apart the last 8 games of the year. I think it coincides with the fact he had the meltdown and how that whole thing was handled. Right? It was a colossal disaster in 2023. Massive disaster. This year, Jesus. Becton has been a marvelous move. Bond has been insane. The Barkley move, crazy. And the drafting, all of that. The only thing that puts a damper on it is how you handle Bradbury, Reddick, and Huff. Those are the only 3 miscalculations. Right? Bradbury's getting paid for whatever. Huff sucks. Right? Shit, even Jalen Hunt is paying off the 3rd-round pick, who everyone, including Vic, said would be a project. He's contributing. He contributed in the NFC Championship game. He's fucking all over the place. Barkley is Howie Roseman's greatest sign. Okay? It's his greatest sign. There's no debating it. Let me ask one question before I move on. What's a better sign, Terrell Owens or Saquon Barkley? What's a better sign? And who was more dominant? I think Barkley is more dominant than what Owens was in 2004. And Owens was off the charts great. Didn't he have like 14 touchdowns that year in like 12 games? 1,400 yards receiving. Right? He missed all them games at the end of the year because he broke his leg, and then he got in the Super Bowl. He played his ass off. Barkley's been better. In the last 25 years, Barkley's the greatest acquisition the Eagles have made. Correct? Since 2000. Can you think of another one that rivals Barkley? Ninth player ever in NFL history to get $2,000. He's averaging whatever it is right now in the postseason. I mean, he is unbelievable. And the amount of carries he's had has not been a factor because of the O-line's play. Vaughn is close. Yeah, give me Barkley, though. Barkley's the MVP of the Eagles. Jason Peters was great, but he didn't play in the Super Bowl. He was great that year in 2017. He was. And Jason Peters is the first ballot Hall of Famer, in my eyes. Okay? In my eyes. Barkley's a better sign than Owens. Crazy. Crazy great. Terrell Owens was the reason you got to the Super Bowl, because your passing game took off with Donovan McNabb. McNabb just couldn't handle himself having another star player in the huddle. He hates star players in the huddle. He didn't like Deshaun Jackson in the huddle. He didn't like T.O. Well, maybe it was the fucking quarterback who couldn't handle that and sharing that. You know, there's a difference between Donovan McNabb. By the way, when Donovan McNabb goes on WIP, how do you fucking listen to that guy? All the things he says today, he didn't practice when he played. How do you fucking listen to that guy? He's a bull-faced liar. He didn't play like that. He couldn't share hey, this year there was a little kick up with AJ when it came to the fame of the offense and how they were going about their business. AJ not getting his touches. AJ not wanting to win the way that they were winning ball games. Hurts talking about straight jacket. They still fucking did it, went out, now they're in the Super Bowl. There's the difference. They may have bitched about it. Hey, dude, don't dismiss that straight jacket comment. Hurts doesn't like this offense, and nor does AJ. But they're tolerating it because they're 60 minutes from the Super Bowl trophy. Do you agree? When a quarterback comes out of a win of an NFC title game that he played well in and says, they finally took the handcuffs off me, straight jacket, whatever. You think that's an endorsement for the offensive coordinator and the way that they approach this season? Hell no. But what they did do was something McNabb could never do. You know what that is? Go with the flow. McNabb could never go with the flow. He fucking hated anybody who got kudos and more fame than him. Deshaun Jackson's at the Pro Bowl, and he's talking shit on his own teammate. He turned the media in Philadelphia. Not that Owens doesn't do that shit himself, but he didn't help. He could have stopped it. No. But Jalen accepted it. Jalen accepted it. Fuck, we're winning. We're winning. Remember he said, you know why he keeps reiterating the only thing that matters is winning? Because he has to keep telling himself this. I'm in a straitjacket right now. I'm not really wanting to do the things that I want to do or I'm capable of doing. I believe every quarterback believes he could throw a football through a pea hole. He believes that, but they're telling him to do something different. Don't just dismiss that straitjacket comment. And is that leadership? Yeah. McNabb never was a leader. Never. In his entire career was he a leader. Great talent. He was never a leader. Never. And this is the difference. Hey, do me a favor. Think about it. That's the key to the success of the team this year, is that everybody is biting the bit here. I said this after week 4. Bart, remember, everyone just dismissed it. Now everyone's jumping on my take. I said, Saquon Barkley's going to change the narrative of how they're going to approach to win ball games. Because everyone was under the assumption that Jalen Hurts was going to throw for 4,700 yards. He had so many turnovers in the first 4 games that went back a year previous. Everyone was talking about all the turnovers. That stopped. Why? They said, fuck that. We're going to run the ball. And Jalen went, bit on the bit, okay. Let me tell you something. If Jalen Hurts wasn't winning, he'd be bitching about this. AJ's winning and he bitches about this. Hey, right now, man, we'll work on the offense in the offseason. This is all about winning. Even he's in now. That's great. That's a team coming together because the quarterback sucked it up. And the quarterback set the attitude in the locker room. I'm going to eat it too. Let's go fucking win a game. Got one game here. This is not win games. Let's go win a game. It says a lot about the guy. Dan, here, I'll give you guys a great example before I move on here. Okay? You know why Dan Marino didn't win Super Bowls? Because he didn't want to. Dan Marino didn't want to win Super Bowls. Jimmy Johnson told me the story. They wanted to build a run game around him. Dan, he goes, we're going to change the offense into a top 5 offense. They were top 5. Marino took that as offensive. We are top 5. Not in Jimmy's eyes, because Jimmy wanted to run the ball. He didn't like the high turnovers. Jimmy hates turnovers more than he loves touchdowns. You turn the ball over. You know, a turnover is more valuable than a touchdown. Look at your team. Jalen Hurts had 18 passing touchdowns this year. But his turnovers, I can't remember. How many turnovers has he had in the last 4 months? 2? 1? Jimmy would take that number any day. 18 touchdowns, 1 turnover. Fuck that. Hurts is definitely a better field general on the offense. That can't be denied. Your 23 did more for Hurts than 22. It's a great take, T-Will. Thank you. All supers go to the top. Okay? Mahomes is just different, guys. Mahomes can turn the ball over 4 times and win a game. Because he'll throw his... Mahomes is really one of the only guys, if not the only guy in the NFL that can throw his team out of trouble. And play his way out of trouble. Do you know how insane that is when you don't have anybody on your team, really, anybody with a massive skill set like you have in Philly, and Mahomes can play them out of trouble? He's the only guy I've ever seen. Remember there was an AFC championship game one year? What was it? Or maybe a divisional round. Maybe you guys can help me. It was Tennessee. And Tennessee got up on them 21-0. He came back and he beat them. I think he beat them by 2 TDs. He's like the only guy I've seen in a while that could throw his team out of trouble. Just a great football player, man. These are reasons why I think the Eagles got back to the Super Bowl in 2 years. Houston, was it? Okay. It's a steady group. They don't get rattled. They don't get rattled. I think 2023 taught them guys a lot. I don't think they get rattled. You know, Kansas City doesn't get rattled. They don't get rattled in big key moments. Hey, you ever watch college football and you watch teams that have been in a national championship setting, how they just don't panic? They don't panic. The players don't panic. I think Nick panics more at times with some of those stupid-ass decisions he makes. But they're a steady team. You know, they're steady. They're behind, doesn't matter. They're ahead, doesn't matter. You know, doesn't look like the moment's too big ever. I think Saquon and Hurts. I think they steady that. I mean, there's no question the NFC title games have to go through Philly. You've never gone to a Super Bowl without that distinction. You've never been a team on the road. The Detroit folding of the chairs, like they're gagging that divisional game against the Redskins was essential. By the way, I'm not saying you wouldn't have went up to Detroit, but that's a harder deal to go into somebody's crib and beat them. Getting the home field for Philly was huge. Okay? It was huge. Okay? How about this comment? By the way, these are reasons why I think you got back to the Super Bowl from your 22 run. Hit the like button. Guys, give me a total on your likes here. Says, a Jalen supporter, but he pissed me off with that straitjacket comment. Nick had his back all year and he threw him under the bus. Yeah. It's a backhanded slap. Anthony, I'll read it over here if you post it. Do you not think that straitjacket was a backhanded slap to the coaching staff? I think it was. I think it was a backhanded slap. Hey, they finally took the straitjacket off me. Hey, they finally took the handcuffs off me. Oh, really? Okay. Well, fuck you. Had won all those games. Even Hurts bitched about the style of play. Okay? Oh, I mean, even he bitched. Says, how can the Eagles defense beat Mahomes? What should the strategy be? I'll write that down. Anthony, right? It's a backhanded slap. He wanted everyone to know, and he thought it was important on the moment to tell everybody, my coaches all year long told me to play a certain way. Finally, they let me play it my way, and this is what it – but the difference is that the coaches don't believe that you can play like that every week. Anthony, I think it's more an indictment on Jalen Hurts, that comment, than it is on the staff. The staff doesn't believe he can do that every week, or they would let him. Don't you want to beat teams by 32 points every week? Don't you? Either that or Jalen Hurts is taking a shit on his coaches. Pick one. Pick one. Hey, do not forget, we are giving a Zach Bond jersey away in the 3:30 segment. Okay? Xander's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Also at 4:30 Eastern, we are going to have our friend Bill Maas, part of the broadcast team for the Kansas City Chiefs and former Defensive Rookie of the Year and Pro Bowler, will join us. Chiefs ambassador as well. One of the most respected Chiefs there is, former Fox analyst. He will join us. Former Pitt Panther. He will join us also at 4:30. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys very much. Somebody give me a total on our likes right now. You guys were sensational yesterday. We got over 600 likes yesterday. Let's see where we are now. Please hit that like button. How about this comment? 223? Let's get that number up. That's not bad. First hour, 223. Pretty good stuff, guys. That's pretty good, man. Let's keep it going here. Thank you, guys, very much. How about this comment? Is Saquon Barkley the most valuable person? Is he the most valuable person to his team? Let's think of the players in the league that are the most valuable person to their team. Josh Allen, There's nobody there. He's 1. Lamar, 2. Okay? Mahomes, 3. Who else? Who else? Okay? That makes me question Jalen's character. You notice too, Anthony, nobody wanted to report that except us here. I think it's ego. I think it's ego. Okay? Ego is one of the uncool sins every athlete has. Okay? I think it's ego. Hey, he's telling you I can do the things the other quarterbacks can do, but they won't let me. That's a total shit on the coaches. But then the coaches turn around and go, I don't believe you can. I don't believe you can. Or they would have did it. They thought Barkley was more of an important person in the offense than Jalen Hurts this year. Okay? That comment was a shot at everyone. But right now, it doesn't really fucking matter. You got 60 minutes to the game. What I mean, it'll be a conversation in the offseason, but it's a total shit on the coaches. Get this. So let me ask you this. So this guy says, still spinning a false narrative. After the NFC Championship game, the quarterback of the football team says they finally got me out of the straitjacket. How would you take that? Positive vibes. How would you take that? You want to hear some fucking stupid takes? And a stupid take? Watch what this guy says in post. He'll make anything sound so that it's a positive narrative for Hurts. He said he guessed Sirianni was a shot at you, talking heads, that said you don't trust Hurts. Your takes are funny. Yeah, sure, okay. That's how you read that? I think he was only joking, but everything he says gets overanalyzed no matter what he says. Somebody is going to get butthurt. This is what I say about Saquon Barkley being the most valuable person to his team. Lamar Jackson's home. Josh Allen's home. Joe Burrow's home. All of these guys are home except Mahomes and him. So the two most valuable players to their respected teams are Saquon Barkley this year and Patrick Mahomes. I showed you the numbers this year for the Chiefs passing game. They were nowhere. Without Mahomes on the team, they're not going anywhere. Without Barkley on the team, the Eagles aren't going anywhere. That was evident a year ago. Okay? That was evident a year ago. Okay? Those two guys. And you know who's going to be the most valuable person on the team? The winner of Super Bowl 59. The winner of Super Bowl 59 is going to have the distinction of being the most valuable person, not player, person to his team. And it's between Mahomes and Barkley now. It's been funneled down. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Jaden Daniels, all these guys. And now it's down to two dudes, Saquon Barkley and Patrick Mahomes. There's only one king. Only one king. Okay? We're going to find out in 2 weeks, in 61 minutes, who the most valuable person was to his team this year. Okay? Wellington Mara must be spinning in his grave. I knew Wellington. My God almighty. I'm telling you, if Wellington Mara was alive, Saquon Barkley would never have left New York. John Mara got talked in by Joe Schoen. I don't care what John McMullen says. You don't get rid of players like that. Do you think he could have helped Daniel Jones out? Still, do you think that the Giants would have went to the playoffs? No, but they would have been better. The key is accumulating good players, not exiting them and constantly rebuilding. Do you know what the New York Giants fucking have now for the last 4 years? Prospect night. It's prospect night. You might as well be selling tearaway jerseys with the name on the back. Because most of the time, you're not going to know who the players are from year to year because you know why? All you do is try to sell me prospect night. You draft Malik Neighbors, so who could throw the ball to him? If you're Malik Neighbors, you fucking hate being a Giant. Because there's no future at the quarterback position yet. You hate that place. Because you see some of your contemporaries. I know he got named to the Pro Bowl as an alternate. I know. Oh, that's good. But you know what? They want to win, too. You want to win. Nobody likes showing up to work with no shot at winning. I mean, Malik Neighbors is in New York. Who's their quarterback? The pizza dude? The fuck is that? Is it possible Jalen was straitjacketed while being taught to read D's better? I think more with the protections. They felt the NFC game was time to find out. It was a success. Super Bowl might be the same, even a bit more passing while remaining true to the run game. T-Bone, I'll tell you something now, though. If you're Kansas City and you're Steve Spagnuolo, you got an extra night's work preparing the passing game because prior to that, the passing game was a non-factor. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So that, to me, is another sign. Here's the number one, number 9, and the reasons why you got back to the Super Bowl. Hurts took care of the ball this year. He took care of the football. If Jalen Hurts did one thing this year that was essential in winning this year, not passing yards, not passing touchdowns, not even really rushing touchdowns, it was not turning the ball over. The number one thing he did was not turn the ball over. Do we not agree on this one? Number 10. Here's the final one. They got a great locker room this year. Okay? No. See, this is where Senorita doesn't tell you the full story. Jalen Hurts turned the ball over for 16 games because it went back to a year ago. He had turned the ball over 29 times in 17 ball games. This is where he doesn't say it carried over until they took him away. It wasn't the 4 games. It was the 2023 season and the start of the 2024 season. Once again, this guy's a fucking stunad. He's the stunad. He doesn't get it. It wasn't about 4 games. It was about the entire 23 year turning the ball over. And it was also about the start of the 2024 season. How you doing, kid? Then they took the ball out of his hands. Don't they have a great locker room this year compared to a year ago? Don't they? Last year, that meltdown, AJ up at some titty bar up in Atlantic City for the Wild card game against the Buccaneers. Guys hanging out with hoochie mamas at AC. Sitting at a bar drinking instead of being down with his boys. Hurts looking not engaged. Right? Everybody pitching at one another. AJ throwing dollar bills. I would think they're dollar bills with AJ. Not T-Bone, I'll tell you that. T-Bone throws hundreds. Okay? AJ throws dollar bills at titty bars. Yeah. Man, if you want to go to a strip club, you go with T-Bone. T-Bone is the guy you go to a strip club with. This guy's throwing it out there, man. How you doing? He's throwing it to the hoochie mamas. How you doing? AJ's throwing dollar bills and drinking water. T-Bone's drinking. Hey, T-Bone's drinking a shot in a beer, and AJ's drinking water and throwing dollar bills over at the girls. Not that I know how you do that. How you doing? Appreciate you, T-Bone. Only time will tell if Jalen has and is improving on his D reads. And yes, was an absolute effort on the entire offensive ball security. Excellent job this year. He did. He just absolutely essential this year on what he did on protecting the football, T-Bone. Thank you very much, brother. You're cool, man. Yeah, T-Bone goes to a titty bar. This guy's throwing $100 bills around. You go with AJ, he's throwing 50 cents on the table, and he's asking for like, hey, can I have an Arrowhead water? Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. The drinks are $15. He's like, give me an Arrowhead. I'll take the Arrowhead. How you doing? Yeah. Not T-Bone. Hell no, man. T-Bone comes in here like he's in a strip club. He's just throwing dough around, man. How you doing? Hit that like button. So again, here were the reasons why you got back to the Super Bowl. Best O-line in the game. Vic Fangio created a great aggressive defense. Your draft picks were drafted to fit the skill set of the scheme that you guys had. All talented players at every skill set position. Howie hit on about 85% of his free agent and draft picks this year. And for the record, okay, those picks were essential. And those moves were essential. I never do predictions, but man, I feel good about the Super Bowl. Really good. If I were Spags, I'd be buying boxes of the pens for diapers. He's good. Hey. Listen here. Spags got 4 Super Bowl rings, my friend. Spags is going to Hall of Fame. One of the best defensive coordinators in NFL history. How you doing? Yeah, man. Very talented offensive players they've drafted and defensive players. How we hit on those picks. It's a steady group. You have to have the NFC title game in Philly, and if you do, it's going to be difficult to knock them off. Barkley was the most valuable, potentially, person in the league this year. Hurts took care of the ball. And they had a great locker room. That's how I see how that thing played out. If we win the Super Bowl, well, how we go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame with 2 rings. Let me see something here. Let me compare him to somebody. Most of you guys won't know who this name is. Or maybe some of you will. And he's a dear friend of mine who passed away. And he just passed away. Let's make a comparison. Hey, Bob Brown, are you in here? Spags loves to disguise the corner blitzes. Jalen will have to read that in the Super Bowl. He will. You guys know who Bobby Beathard is? So let's take a look at Bobby Beathard. This is the man that built the he's got 4 Super Bowl rings. And he's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. And here are the teams that he built. And Bobby lived near me, and I used to talk with him all the time. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was the player personnel director for the undefeated Miami Dolphins and the Shula Dolphins from 72 to 77. Those teams that won 3 straight AFC championships, one team was undefeated, and he was the player personnel director for the Miami Dolphins and the Shula Dolphins. There's no coincidence. The Dolphins never really won a Super Bowl after he left. Do you understand that? The Dolphins never won a Super Bowl when Beathard left Miami. Everyone always thought it was Don Shula. It was Bobby Beathard. He was in charge of the player personnel for the Miami Dolphins during that time. Then, what does he do? Where does he go? He goes to the Washington Redskins. From 78 to 88, he's the general manager of the Washington Redskins, where he wins 3 Super Bowls as the general manager of the Skins, bringing in free agents to draft choices. Bill Polian, how many Super Bowls has Bill Polian won? You'll have to help me out on that one. 1. Bill did a nice job at, maybe that's a better comparison. Is that what you're saying, Chris? Yeah, because Beathard won 4. Polian won 1. Okay? I believe Bill Polian won 1 when he was in Indianapolis, because he was also the architect of that Buffalo Bills football team, but he is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Bill Polian. So the question is, if Howie Roseman go to the Hall of Fame with 2 Super Bowls if he wins it. He was the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, who went to 4 Super Bowls. He has 1 Super Bowl championship, and he has a Grey Cup. He's a 6-time NFL Executive of the Year. He put a lot of great players in there. And he wins 2, probably. And by the way, that's a great comment. That's a pre-cap. That's right. That's a pre-cap. Tougher to build a team today. It's tougher to build a team. Howie's got a tougher job today than he did in the past. Okay, general managers have a tougher time today building a championship roster, for sure. Okay, way tougher. Yeah, man, he got star players at every position. Howie did a great job this year in free agency and the draft. A steady group. The NFC Championship game's got to run through Philly. Barkley's the most valuable person maybe in the league this year. We'll find out if Mahomes wins it, then he is, obviously. You don't get that distinction if you come in second. Hurts took care of the ball, and he got a great locker room. Just some of the things, again, that I think one of the reasons why you got back to the Super Bowl. Hey, don't forget, just in a few minutes, we're going to start the process on you guys winning yourself an opportunity at getting a Zach Bond jersey. Okay? I mean, we're going to be giving away a Zach Bond jersey during Xander's segment here. So be prepared for that. Please hit the like button, and then Bill Maas is going to join us at 4:30 Eastern time. Okay? Let's see here. I don't know what that means. So it's better. You've got the better roster. Sills, Has your opinion changed on Barkley being compared to McCaffrey at all? Yeah, well, here to this, somebody brought this up earlier. Brian, McCaffrey is a better all-around player. Barkley is a better runner, for sure. I mean, when everything is said and done about Christian McCaffrey, remember, don't forget something about Christian McCaffrey. He played on them shitty-ass Carolina Panther teams, too. So, when you say something, well, Barkley played on those shitty-ass New York Giants teams. He played on those shitty-ass teams in Carolina where they had nobody. And when you look at what he did in his career is absolutely better than Barkley's. Barkley's career was wasted. Okay? Was wasted in New York. Here's why I say he's a better all-around player. Hard for me to sit here and say that Christian McCaffrey, who had 100 catches and 1,000 yards receiving and 1,400 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns, and somebody's going to tell me, well, Sills, did he do that once? No, he did it twice in his career. Had 100 catches twice in his career. I mean, look at these catches in his career. 80, 107, 116. He got hurt, 17. Came back 37, 85, 53, 55, 67, and got hurt this year. He's got 525 receptions this year, or in his career. He's got 500 receptions. You know how many running backs don't have that in his career? And he's got 4,400 yards, 4,500 yards receiving. This guy's got 7,000 yards and 52 touchdowns. He's got 80 total touchdowns. I mean, anywhere in there outside of this last season did Saquon Barkley have a better career than Christian McCaffrey? Where? Did he top him in anything? Receptions? No. Receiving yards? Never. Not even in total touchdowns for a rushing year. He had more. McCaffrey's had a great career, albeit banged up. And Barkley's had a better one season rushing the ball. That's it. Because if you look at Christian McCaffrey had 2,400 total yards in 2019. And in 2023, he had 2,200 total yards. So I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, the careers, you can't have an opinion on that because the career speaks there. Okay? Ron Wolf was great. Okay? Ron Wolf was great. So the advantage that the Chiefs have our offensive coaching staff, QB and Chris Jones. Unfortunately, Reid off a bye week is like a drag in the sleigh, big drag in the sleigh. If Hurts leads us to the Super Bowl win, it's a career-defining moment. Absolutely, Bob. Everything is in the favor, in my opinion, of the better coaching is in Kansas City. The better quarterback's in Kansas City. But you've been able to overcome that. But now you're coming up against the best. Let me ask you this. And we're going to get Xander here in a minute. What do you think will be the tougher task? Beating Brady and Belichick? Or going against Brady and Belichick? What's a tougher game plan? Or going against Reid and Mahomes? You've already lost the Super Bowl to one of those. You beat Brady. And you beat Belichick. They have the distinction of beating you already. I say it's Reid and Mahomes. Because the difference there, you didn't get a crack at them again. You got to crack at them again to even the score. And you almost beat them. I mean, this is a tougher putt than beating Brady and Belichick. Because they've already knocked you out once. Do you understand? This is like a trilogy. This could be possibly another one of these pop down the line. Eagles and Chiefs, right? Mahomes is only 29 years old. How old is Hurts? What's Jalen? 27, 26, 25? How old is Jalen? We're talking about these guys going back and forth potentially. Jalen's 26. Okay, Mahomes is 29. He's going on his 4th Super Bowl win. He's in 5 of them already. There's a shot you're going to see a trilogy in this. Okay? This is a tougher one here. Thank you, Jared. Appreciate you, brother, becoming a new member here. Tougher to prepare against, dude, Brady's the GOAT. I'm sorry, man, until somebody tells me there's a guy with 8 of these things. Hey, until somebody tells me I got 8. You know, I mean, I'm not very good at math and reading, as you can tell. But I'll make this point to you here, man. I know 8 beats 7. And I know 7 beats 4. Brady's been to 10. Holy shit. That's like me doing this. Hey, man, I've won 10 rec touch football games. I am the all-time rec king in South Philly. You know how many times I've won the rec game of the night? 10 times. Holy cow. I got to tell you something, Prince. Me and Xander, man, I swear to God, we now know you were a January 6th guy. Yeah. Trump pardon your ass, man. All of a sudden, Xander's like, hey, Prince is back. What the hell do you think happened? You think he was in the can? And I said, man. Then I realized that, wait, Trump just pardoned people. Holy shit. This guy got released on his own recognizance. Sileo's got 250 likes. Let's get him up. Let's get him up, man. Or guess what? He's going to storm your house. We are going to give away a Zach Bond jersey, man. We appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you, guys. Hit that like button. Give me a like total. Flex, some people, man. Do me a favor, guys. Please give me a total. $295 now. That's not bad, man. You guys are killing it. Yesterday, we got over 600. Hey, Prince, I love you, man. You're one of our boys. Yeah, Xander sent him a pardon instead of a jersey. Hey, Xander sent him a pardon or bail to get his ass out. Hey, it's the Super Bowl. Pardon your friends. Holy cow, man. Hit that like button, man. Either that or my boy Prince did this. I see you, Spike. Thank you, brother. Or Prince did this. Hey, fuck it. Sileo was boring me to death. There's a Super Bowl around the corner. So shit, I'll come back for a week and I'll come back and we'll put our time in here. All right, man. We appreciate everybody. By the way, there is so much to hit on here. And we can't thank people enough. Please hit that like button. We love the fact that we're over 300 likes already halfway through the program. This is good stuff, man. You guys are killing it. Supers are up. Everything all goes towards the channel. We love the fact that you guys are here. Without further ado, the guy that's been killing it. Hey, man, I saw some of that gear he gave away. We're going to be doing that, too, with the Zach Bond gear here in this segment. Bill Maas will join us from the Kansas City Chiefs at 4:30. Man, this guy, hey, he ain't hanging out down there with M. Reyes that's selling them knockoff shirts that got EGLES. He ain't hanging out there with M. Reyes. Where the mayor's out there selling, hey, you can buy 2 of these things, EGLES. Hey, what in the hell is that? Xander goes big time, man. That gear is great. Without further ado, our good friend, Big Z, Xander Kraus joins us now here. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good getting ready for this Super Bowl. Happy to be back in it, man. Most fan bases are talking about the NFL draft right now, are making mock drafts, not in Philly. So we ready, man. We ready.
I want to go over some of this with you here. Did you agree with me? Wait, let's start here what I just left off with. What do you think is going to be a tougher preparation, prepping for a guy like Belichick and Brady or Mahomes and Reid?
I feel like Brady with the quarterback, but I feel like Reid with the coach. Can I do that? Can I split them up? I guess you can't really split them up. That's a good question. Who did you take? My bad. I was doing a million
I
things.
took Mahomes and Reid.
Yeah, I give them the edge, I think.
Because he offers more. He moves around more than Brady.
And Andy is near unbeatable off a bye week.
I'm starting to believe Andy Reid's a better coach than Belichick.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, this will be what? 4 Super Bowls?
5. 6.
Nah, 6 he's been to. 4, if he won, it would be his fourth win, right?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, man. This Chiefs team, I know we hate them and we want to stop this three-peat, but man, they're really approaching rarefied air. They're up. You're in 4. That's wild, man, for this team. Patrick Mahomes is gonna get to Brady, man. What did Brady have? 7, right?
Brady has 7. He's been to 10.
Got 6 in New England and 1 in Tampa.
Yeah, and he's been to 10.
We got to knock this team off, man. I feel good. A couple of people have been talking about the fact that our first Super Bowl came against the GOAT. All right. After we lost to the GOAT in the Super Bowl. Now, this was like 12 or 13 years apart, so it's a little different. And then here we are again with a chance to avenge another win versus the modern day GOAT, which is pretty cool. And the modern day GOAT coach quarterback combination. I feel pretty good about it, but I came into that Commander game talking heavy on Saturday, right? We going to win double digits, all these things. I don't think we're going to get to that point with the Chiefs. This team just finds a way to win every single game. And the other thing that's hard to prep for this Chiefs team is like Spags, for example. He runs completely different defenses game in and game out. He doesn't have tendencies that he goes to all year or all playoffs.
He's a chameleon.
Based on the team he's going up against, he runs an entirely different defense. I'll give credit to Eagles Eric, his name is. He does Eagles X's and O's or Philly Film Room podcast, and he put up a quote tweet of somebody. Just in these playoffs, he ran quarters on over half the snaps versus Houston and cover 0 over 10% of the snaps versus Allen. So, he's changing based on who you are and what you do well. So, he's a tough guy to gauge. And Andy coming off the bye week is interesting because I like Fangio, but I don't know if I like him more than I like Andy Reid as an offensive mind. I mean, hey, I like Vic. Don't get me wrong, but this is his first number 1 overall defense. Andy Reid's, going for his 4th ring. I think that speaks for itself. So Andy Reid off a bye week. You know what we need in this game? We need Saquon to get his yards, get his 100+. And we need Jalen to have an equivalent to what he did in the NFC title game or better. And we win the game. If we win, if Jalen does that and Saquon gets his 100+, I think we win the game because I think we're more talented than them. I really do. I think we're way more talented than them. And the defense is going to make a play. They've made a play every single game this year. I mean, why would I not expect them to make a play? You
were way more talented than them in 22.
Yeah, different coordinators, different setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't want to use that as just the – no,
yeah,
you're not wrong. I mean –
coordinators are the same in KC.
Yeah, they are. Well, who was their coordinator, offensive coordinator in 22?
Andy Reid. You think it was Eric Bieniemy?
It doesn't really matter, right? Yeah.
That wasn't Eric Bieniemy calling plays, dog. I mean, I don't care what anybody
it doesn't really
says.
matter. Damn, 4 Super Bowls.
Do you believe that was a backhanded slap towards the coaching staff by Jalen Hurts when he said, finally, the coaches took the handcuffs, straitjacket off me? Do you think that's a backhanded slap at those coaches?
Yeah, yesterday I gave you the positive spin on it, right? That I thought it showed you that Jalen Hurts did sacrifice what
Which is true.
Which is true, but 2 things can be true. I mean, that was certainly a little bit of I don't know if he meant it as a slight, but, I saw James Jones do a segment today, and I'm not, the one thing I don't like about sports sometimes, or at least the commentary around sports, is it's really easy to become a monolith. Like, one person tweets something about a take, and then everybody retweets that same take, and then all of Eagles fans put one person in a box.
Then it's a tidal wave.
It's
then
like,
it's a narrative.
I'll listen to the content, and then I'll make up my mind about
then
what
it's
I
a
think about
narrative. Then it becomes like a narrative.
So I'll listen to the content, and then I'll make up my mind about it. James Jones came off, did a comment about this today about, I don't know if you saw that. Did you see this? So James Jones on that FS1 show with Emmanuel Acho and a couple of those other guys, Shady McCoy's on there. He did a take on this, and he kind of ripped into Jalen like, what do you mean you're in a straitjacket? You're taking a shot at your coach, and two, we've been watching tape all year. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are in straitjackets because of you. So why are you using this now? But I think it's a little bit of a shot. I really do. I mean, how can it not be a shot?
It is a shot, but
it is a little bit of a shot, right?
The difference between him and McNabb is this. McNabb fought it and bitched about it and hated everybody.
Well, that goes back to my point yesterday. Jalen's willing to do what he wants to do what the team wants to do to win. And when it works, who cares? Like, who cares if they were in a straitjacket? Because at the end of the day, we're getting ready for a Super Bowl. 30 other teams are not. So we're in a good spot.
And those guys all in the huddle hate it, but they love winning more than they did. They sacrificed this year. Everybody sacrificed something this year to be able to get where you are. And if you're sacrificing for winning, that's the only thing that's going to make this better. By the way, let me tell you something.
Well, isn't that a feather in the cap too? I mean, if everybody's willing to sacrifice something,
it's a feather in Nick's cap.
It's right, and I think it's a feather in the player's cap too. At times you're going to be frustrated. That's inevitable. That's human nature. But if you're willing to live with that frustration and understand it's for the bigger goal on the team that you're a part of, that's putting team before yourself. And I think that's a good sign right there. I don't think James is wrong. James Jones, what he said about it. I don't think you're wrong with what you said about it, but I don't necessarily think it's all negative.
But it's not, because you're in the Super Bowl and you're 60 minutes from winning it. I mean,
exactly.
Now, if you lose it, you watch this. If they lose that Super Bowl, you watch the complaining that starts up, even though they, in theory, had a great year. You watch the bitching that goes on, especially if there's a deficiency in that game. And Spags does a great job in that game against them dudes. You watch the bitching that will come out, because all the things that, again, it's almost like you got your finger in the dike right now, and you got your finger there, and get this, as soon as that thing, you pull that finger out and that wall comes down and everything, holy shit, bitch, is that going to be a nightmare?
Oh, my. So did you have to use that as your example? Good night. The channel's been a little unhinged today, and you are adding on to it.
I love it. I love the word unhinged. Hey, how about this? Do you think that Barkley in the last 25 years is the greatest acquisition, including T.O.?
Definitely better than T.O.
Really?
I think so.
Well, T.O. got in that Super Bowl. It wasn't his fault that they lost.
No, it wasn't his fault, but fuck T.O. He didn't do for this city what Saquon Barkley's done for this city, and nobody should try and tell me otherwise.
What's he done? I missed it.
Bro, I said it the other day. Who put this out? Was it Hugh Douglas? He put out, I don't know if you guys realize this, but there's about 1 million white babies going to be running around next year with the name Saquon.
I love that.
I saw that tweet.
That's a good line.
Man. I lost it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This dude Saquon, look, he does. He's the type of guy, though, that has an impact on the community more so than just being a good football player. You can tell he's a leader of men. You can tell, Saquon has a bigger impact, I think, more off the field. But also, he's not like, I'm not disrespecting T.O. T.O., yeah, exactly. I'm too young to remember, Fly Parks, how big of an impact he was. But you're telling me that Saquon Barkley, okay, we became a running team this year, and we had this could be the greatest running season in the history of the NFL. Okay, T.O. was great. Did T.O. have the greatest receiving season in the history of receiving? No. Okay, Saquon Barkley, in my opinion,
he was pretty good that year. 1,400 yards in 12 games and 14 touchdowns.
1,400 yards is an average season nowadays.
In 12 games?
I mean, A.J. Brown
12 games
last year. I mean,
12 he would have had 19. He would have broke Megatron's
12
record.
games is good. 12 games is good.
I mean, That's
All right. Are you answer your own question?
No, I got Barkley too. I got
All right,
Barkley
yeah.
too.
So you
I
were
got
just trying to
Barkley
push
too.
back on my ass. I got Barkley.
Hey, I got Barkley too, man. No, I think
So did Saquon. Look at Messenger. T.O. took us to the bowl. So did Saquon.
Yeah. And there's the quarterback, in my opinion, was the problem. And by the way, all these guys were bitching too a little bit. And then the straitjacket comment. They took the handcuffs off me finally, and I went out there and played well. Now look at what I could do. See? I'm like this.
Says I'm out of my element. There's definitely better people to ask. I mean, older fans would be better to ask, but I'm going from the benefit of the now. But look, if we lose the Super Bowl, then they had the same result. Who had the better season?
Oh, it's Barkley by far.
I'm gonna go Saquon. I'm gonna rock with Saquon on this one.
How about this? Do you agree when I made the comment, the most valuable person to his team? Look, you can do Josh Allen, you can do Lamar, you can do Mahomes, you can do Stafford. The difference with these last two dudes standing, all these guys, Barkley and Mahomes, are the most valuable person. How many wins do you think the Eagles have if Barkley's not on your team this year? I said 10.
I said 12, 11 or 12.
You
12
think he made the Super Bowl?
12 if it was clicking, 10 if it was what they did before the bye week.
So that means that if he's not there, there's more passing attempts and the turnovers would have continued. You think you're in the Super Bowl? Not me.
No, I didn't say that. Without Saquon?
Yeah.
I said 12 wins.
12
Where did I say
wins.
Super Bowl?
12 wins. Okay.
Why did you think I said Super Bowl?
I thought you said Super Bowl. I
don't think we'd be in the Super Bowl right now. Look, Akbar says T.O. was effing awesome. I didn't say he wasn't awesome. Was Saquon Barkley not awesome? Like, I know I'm out of my element here.
Hey, we're talking about two different. Hey, wait a minute. We're talking about two great years. Nobody's talking about shitting on one of them. I'm asking you who had it better and more of an impact. It's like saying who would you take, Mahomes or Brady right now? Nobody's shitting on Mahomes if you take Brady.
Look at all these nerds. Look at Todd. What a fucking nerd. By the way, it's Xander with a Z. Xander has no clue what we're talking about. Enjoy the show, Todd. Sit back, relax, brew a cup of tea on the stove, and shut up, Todd. All right.
It's Xander with a Z.
Dummy. Yeah. All right, come on. Let's go. Next conversation.
Let's go.
But like Saquon Barkley's not about to pass Terrell Davis for the most rushing yards in NFL freaking history, right? Is that not about to happen? Am I something? I missed something? I mean, what the hell?
I think he's going to go for 200 yards.
Oh, my God. If he does that, then you should never bring this conversation up again.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for 200 yards.
30 yards away from passing Terrell Davis right now.
Yeah, well,
if he goes 200 yards in the Super Bowl and wins a Super Bowl MVP for the first time a running back would win it, I think it'd be 27 years. I think the last time someone won was Super Bowl 32. And I think it might have been.
It's Terrell Davis.
Yeah, it was Terrell Davis, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who.
Guy's record he'll break.
Terrell Davis, running back, Super Bowl 32.
I think that's against the Packers.
I'll tell you in a second. Yeah, it was. Good job. Big Sales is a football encyclopedia. 31
Packers. I think it was against the Packers in San Diego. So, I mean, I was at that game, actually.
Were you?
Yeah, I was at that game.
You've been to a lot of Super Bowls, haven't you?
I've been to about 20.
That is sick.
I know. You need to get your ass to one.
I know.
So let me go down this list. Here's
Bob, I can't wait. I can't. You know why, right?
Yeah, I know why. Fridays come.
Bob, no, that's not why. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Bobby Lang, who won't give me a credential to go because he hates the greatness of Big Sales.
Oh my God, get this. I'll get you a credential, man. I'll get you Brian McCarthy.
No, I was going to try and go through Sports Grid.
Or get this. I'll put you in touch with Brian McCarthy. He's my boy. He gets me my credentials. Yeah. I don't need.
I'll go. We'll usurp Bob Lang. I told you one of my off season goals.
Listen to this shit.
I got a lot of off-season goals. All right, I can't
listen to one of his goals.
I want to call Bob Lang and have a conversation with the guy. I mean, he's a St. Joe's prep guy. I'm a St. Joe's prep guy. We got to be able to find some common ground here to have a conversation like grown men about me handling my business, you handle your business, and let's meet in the middle. I mean, come on. We're the only channel that covers the Eagles that's live for 6 hours a day. There's a lot of other people making content. Nobody's live for 6 hours a day like we are, covering the Philadelphia Eagles. I've been glazing this team all year. 14-3. Jalen Hurts MVP. 4,600 passing yards. Nick Sirianni's awesome. Howie Roseman's awesome. I mean, what the fuck?
Hey, poor John McMullen, man. He's got to go in there with sunglasses on.
He's all right. John's all
Walks
right.
in there. You work with that fucking dude, Sileo. You're lucky. You got Sports Illustrated behind your name, motherfucker.
Twiz says I'm bending the knee. Now, I'm not bending the knee, but I'd like to find common ground.
He's not
Bending the knee, Twiz, would be firing Sileo because they can't stand that he doesn't glaze the Eagles all day.
They want them to fire me.
Yeah. So that's we're not bending the knee. Stop.
Let me bring this up to you here. Here we go. You agree. Here's the reasons why I believe the Eagles are back in the Super Bowl from their 22 appearance. It's clearly the best O-line in football, right?
Eagles?
Yes.
Right now for sure. But are they a little bit banged up coming into this game? And remember, John was telling me about this Kansas City O-line. They're pretty good in the interior, but they've moved out Joe Thuney to the outside, which, they put in a guy at guard who's nowhere near as good as Joe Thuney was at guard. So it should be interesting to see how these O-lines do in this game. Eagles D-line versus that Kansas City O-line. And then, look, Cam Jurgens has had a great year. Don't get me wrong.
What did John say about his health?
What's that?
What did John say about his health?
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear. We haven't heard anything yet. But Cam Jurgens has had a great year. Cam Jurgens has not, and I repeat, has not had to play a guy like
Chris Jones.
Okay. That guy is the best tackle in the league by far. So, I don't know. I'm not saying we're not going to be able to block him, but I will say it's going to be an interesting task to see. The other thing there is Mekhi Becton, another guy who's had a great year, has not yet had to deal with a guy like Chris Jones. And Chris Jones is obviously a seasoned veteran. And you've seen Mekhi at times, for as good as he's been this year, you've seen at times him get beat in pass protection.
Quick moves.
Right. Quick moves in pass pro. So I don't know. That could be a factor in this game. Now, the one thing I was super happy to see in the NFC Championship game is I clearly don't think the knee is going to be an issue at all for Jalen Hurts in this game. So, he had a big rushing game in Super Bowl 57. He was actually the only guy who had rushing yards in that game. I think he had 70 rushing yards in that game and 3 touchdowns. We're going to need Jalen Hurts' legs in this game for sure. If that pocket collapses, if Chris Jones is wreaking havoc on that D-line, Jalen's going to have to make some magic happen.
I believe Mahomes is going to have to run too in this ball game. Yeah. They're going to win that game too. Number 2, I put Vic Fangio has turned this defense into an aggressive. I can't believe I'm saying this with a zone defense and zone cover defense, but it's aggressive. They put a lot of hats on a ball carrier. I mean, I think the youth has a lot to do with that, but would you not agree that this is a more aggressive defense than what you had in 22? I think the 22 team's by far a better pass rushing team. It's not close.
Really?
You had 4 guys in double digits. I mean, you had 70 of them. You're nowhere near that.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that type of results. But I do think here's where I'll push back. Can this team, while they might not have the sacks and the numbers and the stats, can they be as impactful? And by the way, I think they're going to be more impactful in the Super Bowl because remember what happened to that pass rush in the Super Bowl. The sod father and that old fart who tried to work on the field and he fucked it all up. And then we couldn't get a pass rush. Hassan Reddick sliding like it's an ice rink. I mean, how each NFL team is damn near worth $10 billion. This league is worth $320 billion collectively. It's probably a $1.5 to $2 trillion entity as a whole. And we got field issues at the Super Bowl. Oh my! I'm still not over that bullshit.
Do you want to hear what the NFL owners do for the FIFA guys? They rip the turf up and put FIFA type turf in, and when those guys leave, they rip that turf up and put the shitty turf back. You're like, wait a minute. I mean, it never made sense. The NFL turf, FIFA. Those guys refuse to play on it. They've got to have specialized turf to play if you're going to host a FIFA game or you're
Yeah,
going to have
I've
a World
seen that.
Cup.
I saw that. Yeah, they replaced it
mean,
when they came in for the World Cup and stuff, didn't they?
yeah.
I don't know. I don't follow soccer. Like people are like World Cup,
Soccer.
Premier League, like Liga Premier. I'm like, I don't know one thing about anything. I don't know who's in the MLS. I don't know big teams. I don't know a lick about soccer, and I
All
never
I know is my argument always is who's got better looking chicks, the Argentinians or the Brazilians. That's where I'm at.
Who you got? Who you got?
I got the Argentinians, man.
All
I
right,
think they
dang,
got the Brazilians, man.
thinking
Even though the
Brazilians.
Brazilians are pretty good looking, I'm going to take the Argentina chicks. How about this on number 3? You know, they did something, and I was going to send you that soundbite, but I was able to play it that when we had Rich McKay on. Rich told you when we drafted Sileo was a 3 technique, and we tried to make him a nose, and it was a nightmare because that's not what he was. What I think they did with these draft picks, they drafted zone corner covers or cornerbacks. They got a guy who fits into an edge rush, what they're looking for with Nolan Smith, who's finally starting to look like the guy they envisioned at the 30th pick. Carter's a 3 technique. You're starting to see a little sign of Davis. What I'm saying to you, Xander, these men have been drafted to the right place to fit the scheme and their skill set. Do you know how many times guys fail in the NFL because they get drafted to a place and they just figure, here's the greatest example. Everybody in free agency thought that Bryce Huff was going to come in here and be a 3-down player because the Eagles were going to plug him in. The guy turned out to be worse. He was the situational guy he was. That was a miscalculation completely. But that goes on even more in drafting players. They did a really nice job at fitting these guys. I think that has a lot to do with Vic, though. I think Vic looked at these guys. We need cover corners who play corner and zone cover corners that played it in college. Quinyon Mitchell played it at Toledo. Cooper DeJean played it at Iowa. All those guys did that. I think Vic had a lot to do with it. It's the same way that I think Stoutland has a lot to do with the O-line type of players that come into Philly.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's definitely true. That's a credit to the coaching. That's a credit to Howie Roseman. That's a credit to, the way they're building this organization. They, the one thing about this organization that can't be denied by anybody is they are certainly operating, even without Super Bowl rings, they are certainly operating at the top of the spectrum, at the upper echelon levels of the league when it comes to just doing business, just being in business, being in contention, having good players, signing good contracts. And Sills, I'm going to push back on you on something here that you've been saying since you came on our network 4.5 years ago. All right. And it's that Howie can't draft defense. Mm-hmm. Well, he has fixed that. If you look at the
first time that he's starting to hit in his 25 years of drafting.
These last 4 years have been pretty rare, man. These last 4 years have been pretty remarkable. And I think you would really agree if you
4 years. 4 years of drafting. I think 3 years of drafting.
Well, 4 years ago he drafted Devontae Smith first round. Now those are offense. Milton Williams was the only guy we took.
Okay, that's a really good.
He was a 3rd round pick. Great 3rd round pick.
Great 3rd round pick. Yeah.
Marlon T was a 5th, 6th round pick there. You're right. 3 years. I mean, I think Milton was a good draft pick in the 3rd round.
No, good, great.
But not volume there, yeah. And then you got Davis. Yeah, he's still up in the air. Nakobe Dean was a good pick, obviously. Then you have Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Sidney Brown, Keely Ringo, Moro Ajomo in the 7th round.
Are you really sold on Sidney Brown yet?
No. Or Keely Ringo. But as a 3rd rounder, I don't know. He's good on special teams, so I don't know what you're expecting from him there as a 3rd rounder. Keely Ringo, 4th rounder.
Well, Moro Ajomo,
Moro Ajomo, though, is a 7th rounder. That's pretty good.
Milton Williams is 3rd rounder, and he starts.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Moro Ajomo is the back.
Sidney's coming off an injury, too, so let's be fair to that.
And then last year, obviously, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalix Hunt even in the 3rd round. I mean, he's turned out to be decent. Yeah. Jeremiah Trotter is a 5th rounder, is getting on the field and doesn't look like a trash can. I mean, I think Howie's starting to really turn the page, and that's the one thing I love about Howie Sills. I really do, because I feel like he really does learn from the shit he does wrong. Like, he might take a lot of shit for it, and I know the Jalen Reagor pick is almost unfathomable to go back and look at that, how you can make that pick. But look at what we got now. Look at what he's done on the offensive line. He always learns from what he does wrong, and I think that's definitely a tip of the cap to him.
Would you rather have
now Bob Lang?
Hey, would you rather have Devontae Smith or would you rather have Micah Parsons?
Oh, I might have to go Micah Parsons.
Remember, they moved those picks around. And they traded with the Cowboys to get Devontae. And remember what happened with Dallas. The only reason they moved down was because they didn't get Patrick Surtain because he went to Denver. And that, to me, was the only reason that landed like that. I think it landed well for both teams.
I don't know. That's a tough pick. I love Devontae, but because we're not a passing team, it's tough to – yeah, God. I mean, look, everybody's going to say Smitty because it's our guy. I get it, but – Parsons is a pretty good edge rusher, bro.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Nolan Smith or Brian Branch. That's another great one. I mean, Brian Branch.
I like Nolan, man. I like Nolan.
Brian Branch is an all-pro first team.
Yeah, but we need an edge rusher.
They drafted the same year.
The reason I picked that Micah Parsons.
I'll take the kid in Detroit.
The reason that's fine. The reason I picked Micah over Devontae is because I value that position more than I value a wide receiver number 2. For same reason I would value Nolan over Brian Branch. I value the edge rusher over a great safety. Brian Branch is a great player, though. Don't get me wrong. It's one of those things where you take one, I'll take the other. But I like Nolan Smith, man. I think Nolan Smith is going to be really good. One of my we're going to do our bold predictions in the offseason. I'm going to have a bold prediction for him.
Hey, by the way, man, you could do this with every fucking team too. So would you take care here, there? I mean, you could do that everywhere, man. I mean, but again, everybody here. I mentioned Bobby Beathard, who won 4 Super Bowls as general manager. Do you know who he drafted? Do you know what shitbag he drafted when he was with the Chargers? Folks, tell Xander Bobby Beathard, who's a Hall of Fame general manager, drafted when he was the GM of the Chargers, and everybody took a shit on him because he took that pick. He's one of the greatest evaluators all time when it came. He took Ryan Leaf. There you go, Neil. He took Ryan Leaf. Okay, and he goes, biggest regret of my life was taking that guy.
Ryan Leaf, I think he
everyone does that
nowadays.
Oh yeah, I see he wanted to beat up someone because they talk shit on him. He should stay out of the pill cabinet.
Oh, is that where I saw him? He threatened somebody or something.
Yeah, he should stay out of the pill cabinet. It might help him out a little bit. It's all good.
Boy.
Oh, hey, how about this one?
Sounds 5. Like Big Stills has some inside info there.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, he went to jail for drugs.
No,
he can't stay off the Percocets, Percodan, and the high duty drinking.
Philly King says Leaf had talent.
He did. He was a great player coming out of Washington State, but he had a P for a brain. Number 5, and I know the kid, Howie Roseman. For the second time in 3 years, has hit on 85% of his free agents. And this year might be his crowning achievement because the things that were done. When Becton was signed, I had to ask Brian Baldinger, remember what Phil Simms said? The guy looks great. I don't know if that guy plays 17 games, he's going to be a force if they put him in the starting lineup. And sure enough, this guy's turned out to be a force. That move from left tackle to right guard is just absolute brilliance. Then, how about at the beginning of the year, you guys get Zach Bond. Let's turn him into a Van Kinkle. Man, we'll try to rush him off the edge. Hey, wait a minute. Devin White blows. That was a Howie sign. All of a sudden, Vic goes like this. By the way, all supers will be red. Vic goes like this. Let's move his ass inside. I remember at a presser, he goes, can he play inside? He goes, I don't know. We'll see if he can play.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he starts going, yeah, he seems smart, and he looks like – he gets in that Green Bay game. Remember what John McMullen said?
This was all Vic Fangio, though. All Vic Fangio.
But do you remember what John and I both said? What do you have, like 17 fucking tackles in Brazil? We all went like this. That might be one of the greatest performances by a linebacker in Eagle history. There's no chance he keeps that up. That fucking guy hasn't stopped since Brazil.
That's something I'm going to do in the offseason too, is go back and chronicle to look at our coverage that we had throughout the year. That's always fun to go back and do. I know I was not happy after week 4 when we were 2-2 going into the bye week. I remember that well. So no, you're right. Becton's a crazy good move, man. Moving him in there and what he's been able to do is pretty
and adding Barkley.
Yeah, adding Barkley. The whole Bond thing, though. I mean, if you go back, talk about going back and chronicling what we were covering. Yeah, it was supposed to be Devin White and Nakobe Dean. Like, this was not there was nobody talking about Zach Bond until like 2 weeks before we kicked off the season. Late in August or late in July.
Isaiah Rodgers and Slay.
Nobody was talking about Bond, and this is where I give John a little credit. He was telling everybody, and they were not happy with him. I don't think Devin White's going to have much of a role on this football team. And everyone's like,
and he took a shitload of the snaps in preseason.
What's that?
He took all the snaps in the preseason and practice, got in the game. All of a sudden they went, you're not going to Brazil. We're keeping you behind. Everyone went, what? Holy shit.
All right. So what do you think Zach Bond's
his ankle.
What do you think Zach Bond's getting paid?
$15 million.
All pro.
15 over 3.
First team all pro, defensive player of the year candidate. And to top it off, he had his best game of the year maybe in the NFC Championship game. So he's now delivering for you in the biggest moments as well. 11.5 Buckhalter. I'm sorry. He's going to be on the gone if that's what you want to give him.
Hey,
I think it's going to be more than 11.5.
Before I get your ass out of here, man, I'm going to give you 3 Big Sills bold predictions for the Super Bowl.
All right, let's do it, because I want to give away the Zach Bond jersey. Get your memberships in. If you're not a member, we're going to give away a Zach Bond, Kelly Green Stitch jersey in about 10 minutes.
So good. The numbers are the professional numbers. It's all good. I think Barkley's going for over 200 yards in the game.
Dude, if that happens, This will be one of the most memorable Super Bowls of all time. If you stop the three-peat with a 200-yard performance from a running back that is already setting records for the most yards in a season, oh my God, that would be. All right, if you say that, is that one of your bold predictions officially?
Yeah.
Are you tipping your hand on who you're picking in the Super Bowl?
Depending on who you're going to know. Hang in there.
I mean, I'll make a proclamation.
Okay.
If we do that, we're going to fucking win this game, dude. I'm sorry.
My second bold prediction.
Okay, let's hear this one.
Xavier Worthy goes over 150 yards receiving.
I don't like that prediction at all. I just don't think he's that type of player. I think he would get 80 yards.
How do you look at that AFC title game?
He looked pretty damn good. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I just think Andy's going to get creative with getting him the ball. And I don't know, 150. He's not like your typical, route running receiver. He's more like a speed guy, a gadget guy that Andy will use all over the field. He is good. I like him a lot. But 150, I'm going to take the under on that, big dog.
Zach Bond will have 11 tackles, a sack, an interception, and a caused fumble, and 3 TFLs.
Zach Bond will have a forced fumble, 3 TFLs, and what else?
A sack and 11 tackles.
Okay, so one of the greatest defensive Super Bowl performances in history, it sounds like. All right, so you got 2 all-time. Yeah, Curtis is like Super Bowl MVP. Wait, who's going to get it? Him or Saquon with the freaking 200 yards that Sileo's given?
It's only 3. It's only 3 bold predictions early, fellas.
Right,
Let's hang in there.
All right.
Okay.
3 early bold predictions.
You want to do the supers and then the giveaway?
Yeah, we'll do the supers and then the giveaway.
Okay, so guys, do me a favor. This gives you a chance to subscribe. So please hit that subscription button.
Yeah, join and be a member. If you're not a member, you're not.
We'll give the Zach Bond jersey away.
All right, we got to have somebody in here too, so it might take us a couple pulls. All right, let's do this. I'll do the super chats now, and then we'll rattle off the giveaway.
Guys, you've been great. Please hit the like button as well.
Anthony
Give me
Wilson,
a total on where we are with that like button too, if you can.
Anthony Wilson says, "I bet Reddick feels shitty. Maybe he was the cancer." Yeah, and how about Kelsey and Cox? You think they're regretting retiring?
Oh yeah,
Cox still had juice.
Dude. And wait a minute. How about this? And they're better without them two.
I know.
They're better.
Abe says, is it scheme, players, or teaching for this season?
It's both. You can't have, hey, you need the Jimmies and Joes to teach.
Yes.
Okay. You can.
But I don't think these Jimmies and Joes would be doing this without Vic. I think you need them both.
No.
Yeah.
But again, you can have, dude, if you can be Einstein, but if you don't have the things around you to make the fucking light bulb, or Edison, to make the light bulb, how the fuck are you going to make the light bulb? You got to have the equipment around you to make it happen. You got to have the players around you to make it happen. Remember Dave once said that, Xander? He goes like this, scheme won't be the issue. It'll be the players. Yeah.
The credit to the coaches. They say it all the time, too. Dio checks in. If he goes 200, he will break Riggins' record for playoffs.
It's the kid from the Redskins. It's Tim Smith, who's got the record for the most rushing yards.
Yeah. Good
Riggins
stuff,
did have the record, though, for a bit.
Riggins, Mad Dio again. Sirianni 5-0 off bye week. Small sample.
Okay, so I'll take Andy off the bye. You can have Nick.
Yeah, sorry, Dio. Well, to his point, though.
I got it.
Both of them are solid. To this point, both of them are solid. Stay focused. F that and F them. Sills is a national treasure. Yes, he is. That's an understatement. Kyle McMaster checks in. I think Jalen's comment was aimed at the media, similar to after the Steelers game. Media has been saying that coaching is limiting him. He's not attack coach after winning, going to the Super Bowl. I don't know about that.
So the media put the handcuffs on him, not the coaching staff. Is that what you're trying to convince yourself of, Kyle? If that's what you're trying to convince yourself of, there's really no debate here.
Kyle, good stuff. Appreciate your $10.
Thank
Prince
you,
checking in. T.O., AJ Brown, and Saquon all took us to the dance.
Yep, they did. But in my opinion, if I'm taking one of those
did
guys
AJ
out of those,
to the dance, I don't know about that.
Did AJ take you to the dance in 22?
Jalen Hurts was second in MVP voting in 22.
Okay, honey. Jalen Hurts is your boy. I got it. And Jalen did lead them that year in 22.
He was. Sure. I'm just saying.
Oh, he did. He did.
Mean,
it wasn't AJ. It was Jalen that year. Okay. These Jalenites, man. Holy shit. You start talking shit. The typical Philly dude. You talking shit on my guy. I'll talk shit on him.
He's the second most successful quarterback in the league in the last 4 years, like you said yesterday on the show. Thank you very much.
Second most successful. Let me think.
Silver medal.
I'm trying to figure out what he's ever won in his career. No, I like the SEC.
Wait a second. You glaze Jared Goff like he's the freaking king of the hill for his 2 NFC championships.
This guy's getting more like Big Sills all the time. He didn't let me finish, but that's correct right there. I love the kid. That's exactly correct. You're right. Hey, those are the second most important team awards you can win, or conference championships for a quarterback. There's no doubt about it, man. I mean, the ultimate prize is the Super Bowl, but bro, you can't just dismiss NFC titles. You just can't.
No, you can't. That's impressive what they did. And Jalen had a big game.
And in the amount of time they did it, 2 and 3.
KJ30 checks in. Appreciate it, KJ. Troy Aikman, sacrifice for those 3 titles. Smith was the real deal when it came to those Cowboys, and Michael Troy was on the ride. He was a part of it.
Troy Aikman was the caboose. Emmett was the rider, and Irvin was AJ. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. I agree with that.
PR's Tavern checks in. We lost to Brady and Bill, and then played them again and won. Yep.
You played Brady and Bill and won? Yeah.
We lost to Brady and Bill.
That's right. You 1-1 against them too. That's right. That's right. The 04 game.
That's what I said to you at the start of the segment. Yeah, we lost to the GOAT, and then we beat the GOAT. Yeah. And now we lost to Mahomes, and now we have a chance to beat Mahomes.
Wow, that is unbelievable, man. You could do that against those 2 guys again. That's fucking great.
All right, can you give Philly credit for one more thing? And I know it didn't happen yet, so maybe you won't yet. But if Philly is able to get the job done here, we got 2 Super Bowls in franchise history, and they're going to come against the 2 greatest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, there's no denying that.
That's That's the best
Yeah.
way to win a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
The guy who Brady hates the most is Foles, so that just tells you all you need to go.
Yeah, did you hear his comment on the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He goes, he
that was
caught
funny.
the pass, I dropped the pass.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Matt Dio again. All right, we got to roll because I got to get this jersey.
Yeah,
thing.
we got
Another record. Yeah, you didn't send me Bill Maas, by the way. I did send him though. You didn't send it to me though, but I sent him because I heard you say it on the show.
Oh, you got you.
I got him the link. Yes.
Yeah, let's.
I'm saying you didn't send it to me, so I was unaware. Matt Dio says another record Barkley could break is Riggins' playoff rushing record, 6'10" in 1982. Barkley is 442, so needs 169. That'd be big. Green Goat becomes a member. Green Goat, thank you, bro. Devontae says Jalen had over 300 last time for the bowl. We could probably see that again along with Saquon's great rushing performance. Devontae, I don't know if I want that because if you have 300 rush passing in this game, you're probably playing
Barkley's
behind.
not with the carries. Then you want Barkley to run the ball.
There's only one ball, man. I'd rather have 200 or 230, 240 like he did last week with a big game from Saquon. Saquon DeJean B-Day on 2-9, 26 and 33 is 59. I saw that. It's like numerology you guys are playing on us. All right,
let's give this jersey out, brother.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we're giving away a Zach Bond jersey. Are you a member? If you're not winning, okay? It's Kelly Green, and it's stitched, and it's beautiful. And I'll say this to you. I'm pretty sure that Howie Roseman is going to get this man signed, all right? Now, I don't know for sure. I hope he does because I don't want to give away a jersey of a guy that's done so. But he is a first-team All-Pro linebacker. I don't think how many times this year, Sills, has Howie gotten credit for Zach Vaughn in the airwaves, on the media, anywhere? He's not letting this guy go. Howie's got his ego, okay? And I'm perfectly all right with that. And he ain't letting this guy go because he knows that everybody praised him for doing it, for signing him.
Absolutely.
So I don't think he's going to let him go. Nobody was praising him for TJ Edwards, all right? That's a fact.
I'm with you.
All right, here we go. Green Goat. I like that name. I've never seen him in the chat before. Might be a little opportunistic, but that's all right. That's all right. We respect an opportunistic person. What's the matter, Sills? You mute over there?
No, nothing. I'm ready to roll here, man. I'm ready.
All right, you ready? I got the thing. See, Sileo is not there for Xander time. He doesn't understand. This shit doesn't go quick, all right? This shit doesn't go quick. It takes me hours to do this stuff, all right? Green Goat. All right, here's our member list. Everybody's in. Did we get any new members? Nope, we did. I got them all. All right, here we go. Zach Bond jersey. You got to be
I can't wait to see
win.
this.
All right, we'll do 3 shuffles and spin it. 2 shuffles. 3 shuffles. Zach Bond, Kelly Green, for one of the great people of JAKIB Nation. We appreciate all you guys. 3, 2, 1. Wicked Hebrew.
Wicked
Hebrew. Here.
Where's the Wicked Jew? Let's go, guy. Where are you?
A half hour later. Yeah, Cilio's going to have to learn low-key. He doesn't understand what happens.
Where's the Wicked Jew? Come
Look
on.
At Joseph Biden. Xander's 26. His hairline's 46. It's more like 66, big dog. Shit's almost gone.
Where is he? By the way, you're going to get a countdown here. 10, 9, 8.
Oh, Cilio's going quick.
7, 6, 5, 4.
All right, he's done.
3, 2, 1. Sorry, Wicked Joe, you're out.
All right, confirm. He's done. 1 shuffle, 2 shuffles, 3 shuffles. All right, we got 5 minutes to get a winner because we got Bill Maas coming. All right. 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Nad, are you here? Nad's not. I'm not giving Nad the freaking the Bond jersey, but I will do something for Nad.
Get that thing, man.
I will do something for Nad if he's here. If he's not here, he's done.
Nader all day. You know where he is? He's where Prince was. He's in lockup.
Nah, Nad. No, see, everybody loves shitting on Nad, but Nad is one of our great members here. Nad's been a member, Cilio, for 25 months. Most of these people have been a member for like 6 days. So I love Nad. I'll do something for him if he's in here. He's not in here, though.
Okay, let's get another one.
All right. You're done, Nad. That's hilarious. Nad and Jay. Yeah, you know I already had to buy a Jaden Daniels jersey, right?
Yeah, I heard that.
Because James Jones won.
You're
All
done.
right, here we go. 1 shuffle, 2 shuffles, 3 shuffles. The only time I've ever not seen Nad here, he won. That's hilarious.
He's gonna fucking go crazy.
He lost. What do you mean? He's done.
God.
3, 2, 1. Big Trag. Yes, Trag's been waiting to win. Is he here?
Oh God.
Is Big Trag here?
Big Trag. You better get your ass in here.
Dude, so, oh my God, Nad shows up. And now Nad has showed up. Is Big Trag here too? Yes, he's here.
Yes, Big Trag.
All right, Nad, I'll send you something too. I'll send you some Niners merch. Big Trag with a win.
Yes, sir.
On W for Big Trag. All right.
That's fucking great, man.
There we go. Wait, let me put my email in the chat.
On.
All right, Nad. Nad, because you were here and you might have been a little behind or whatever, I'm going to do something for Nad too. All right. Nad's one of our great supporters. I don't give a shit if you guys don't like it. I love Nad because he's been a member for 23 months here on JAKIB. So most of you guys can't say that.
It's rigged.
Big Trag. No, Big Trag's been saying it's rigged. Watch. This is what happens. It reminds me of John McMullen. People don't cry about the play call. They cry about the results. When you win, it's not rigged. When you don't win, it's rigged. That's how everybody goes about it. All right.
Oh my God almighty, man. That's fucking great stuff. Be prepared. Xander's going to give more stuff away on Birds 365 tomorrow. So you can go there too, M-Race, and call it rigged there too. Tomorrow.
Yeah, Nad, you can shoot me an email too. I'll get you something for 49ers or whatever you want to work. I'll do something for you, Nad. I promise.
Hey, M-Race, what's rigged more? A Kansas City Chief game or Xander spinning of the dial here to get Eagle gear?
I have way more effective ways if I want to do a rig something. Like this is the least efficient, effective way to rig something if I wanted to rig something. All right. Look, Swagger, what the FC? Commode and Niners fans get shit and I don't. They're a member too, Swagger. All right? Come on, man. In fact,
hey Prince. Hey, Prince, I'm gonna get you a yellow. I'm gonna get you an orange jumpsuit. That's what Xander and I think you want.
Yo, Prince, don't let him put words in my mouth, bro. I love you, Prince. I'm happy to have you back in JAKIB, bro.
I am too. He's a January 6th guy. It's all good, dog. We love you.
All right, Big Trag, go and email me and Nad. Let me write them down. Add another to the list. I sent out a bunch more today. We're sending out more. All right, Big Trag won Bond jersey.
Let's do pump here, and then we'll call it a shop, and we'll get Moss on here in a couple minutes.
Nad, Niners merch. You got to be kidding me. Jalen 316, he is not here. He has risen. Just as he said, come and see the place where he lay. He has risen. Reborn a Jalenite.
Holy cow.
Oh, my God. Humper's hilarious.
Humper's in Jerusalem with Jalen.
I think he's talking about himself. Is he now a Jalenite? Pumper, are you now a Jalenite?
Hell no, man. You think that guy, he prays at the altar of the Jalenites?
Yes, he
Very
is.
doubtful.
Pumper's got to be one of the most creative guys in the world.
He absolutely is. I love this guy.
Maybe
man.
you just chat GPT to make up some of these things. They're good.
Oh, you're good as shit, man. I like your stuff.
All right, Sills. Have a good segment with you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Hey, don't forget, folks. Make sure you catch Xander tomorrow morning, 365, Birds 365. Giving more gear away and great content. Make sure you check all them guys out. John McMullen, the #1 Eagle reporter, is on with Xander, so make sure you check that bad puppy out.
I want to just say thank you to everybody for all the support you've given. Let's enjoy this Super Bowl run, and a big congrats to Big Trag and Nad. 2 winners today. We were only going to have 1, and we had 2. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate your support of the channel. Big Sills, great show. I'll catch you tomorrow, brother.
You got it, brother. I appreciate you very much. Sills. Looks like Sills, he got the orange prison suit on. Well, they used to say that about the University of Miami. How you doing? Hit the like button, my friends. I appreciate it. We got Bill Maas right around the corner. We're going to get him. Not sure we're going to take a time out here, but I do want to throw this at you before Bill hits the airways with us. He's part of the broadcast team for the Kansas City Chiefs. Former NFL rookie defensive. By the way, I'll ask Bill what he thinks of Jalen Carter. Get his thoughts, obviously, on Chris Jones, too. No question. Bill's part of that whole Chief. He's an ambassador for the Chiefs, played there for a ton of years. But let me ask you this here, man. The law firm, Burks and Bond, took care of business. They sure did, dude. They sure did. They were great. Would you rather see 300 passing yards in this Super Bowl in 12 days or 200 rushing yards? What would you rather see? The 300 passing from Hurts? Or would you rather see 200 rushing? Me too. I want to see the 200 yards rushing. Okay? I do. I want to see the 200 yards rushing. All right, folks, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Do not forget our great friends at BetUS here. Our friends at BetUS have teamed up with everyone here at JAKIB Sports. And during this football season, you've got, in 12 days, Super Bowl 59. And we're teamed up with our friends at BetUS. Here's what you do with the YouTube 150. It's a signing bonus up to 2K. You get 150% of your sign-up bonus all the way to 2K. Your second and third are 125%. And if you're into crypto, it's 200%. Sign-up bonus up to 2K. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. It's the home of Michael Vick. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service. 365 days a year. Live wagering on all major games. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor. Tell Big Sil sent me.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an Audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. I wondered growing up if Moss was a Steeler fan or if he was an Eagle fan when he grew up. Now, my cousin found Moss on a park bench somewhere in Oakland, PA. That's what he always said about Bill. He said, you know where I found him, right? He was in like a fedora, and he was sleeping on a park bench there. And somehow he ended up at Pitt, and he ended up being an All-American and one of the top draft picks, Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, my boy Pizzulli found him, and there he was. I said, what'd you say when you found him? He goes, I need a home. So they put him at Pitt. Now, I'm going to ask him, I don't know, was he a Steeler or Eagle fan? So, ambassador of the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the really great Chiefs of all time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, how great is this? I think Bill's either 7th or 8th in sacks. And when you got Derek Thomas at the top of that list there, and you've got Bobby Bell in that room of guys who've had the greatest sacks in the history of the Kansas City Chiefs, Bill's in the top 10. Defensive Rookie of the Year, also with the Kansas City Chiefs, a former Pro Bowler himself. Got the pulse of the team here. Our friend Bill Maas, former Pitt Panther and Kansas City Chief, joins us now. How you doing, brother?
Big Sills, what's going on? You know, Pizzulli, he had that saying about everybody I ever met. You know, all the people he knew, he had that same saying. Oh, I found him on a park bench. And actually, I think we all found him there.
I know this, man. Bob Bukowski was like, hey, man, I mean, you know, Pizzulli found me too. He goes, no, he didn't. He says, like you said, even Fraley was saying that shit too. And then he would say that. Bill, growing up, were you a Steeler fan or Eagle fan?
Yeah, so EAGLES, man. Yeah, Philly. I grew up, and it was big. I remember my rookie year was the first year they went. I mean, my freshman year was the first year that they went to the Super Bowl, and we came back from the bowl game, the Gator Bowl, and all the guys from Philly went home to watch the Eagles. Hopefully, we were going to a parade, right? But it didn't happen. They got skunked by the Raiders, and yeah, it was a big deal. But you know, going to Pittsburgh at the time, when they recruited me, they had won their 4th Super Bowl then, and in the '79 season. So that was a big deal, going to the other end of the state and seeing how big football was in Western Pennsylvania.
Boy, I'll tell you too, Bill. During the time Marino was there, I believe at Penn Hills, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he? Or was he at the Catholic school?
Central Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, he was at Central Catholic. That's right. And all you guys, man, I mean, why did you guys, real quick before we move on, why did all you guys stay? That were all those PA guys. I mean, all you guys pretty much stayed that New England area too. Pizzulli's a Connecticut guy. He didn't want to really go anywhere else, but it just seemed that you guys had so much talent, man. I mean, you were Miami before Miami with all those guys that you had with Hugh Green and Ricky and all them guys. Why did you guys want to stay home?
You know, it had a lot to do, I think, with just the culture there that Jackie Sherrill and Johnny Majors brought to the university. I mean, they had a knack about recruiting, that they were able to go out there and get the kids that were, you know, put a fence around put a border around the state of Pennsylvania and don't let them go.
Yeah.
And that was kind of their mentality. So they went out and they tried to make sure that they kept all their homegrown right there. Now, you know, they got the East Coast, they went up and down, and they had some pockets down in Florida and Mississippi. And that's where, you know, they found Hugh Green and Ricky Jackson. So, yeah, it was all about the recruiting aspect of it for sure.
Bill, you know, talking about parades, you guys are used to them now here. I mean, are they talking about the three-peat, the Chiefs, or they just focused on this 60 minutes in 12 days?
You know, it's funny when they won the Super Bowl last year and they went to the parade, it became a thing. A three-peat became a thing, and it's been on the agenda. Now, they know the way to go about it because they've done it so many times now, and you've seen them go through the regular season, and there's so much to be critical about as a team. But to them, that's just an obstacle in the way of what they got to do. They've got to take care and get through the season. Then the postseason hits, and you see how they start playing. And it's a thing. It's for real. It's something that's been etched in stone. That's what they want to do.
Bill, I look at the numbers this year. I mean, mediocre passing, the
Yeah.
running attack, scoring. I think they're pretty good on third down. Outside of that, it's been more the better numbers are on the defensive side of the football. But you guys give away the Denver game. Really, it's a one-loss football team. Well, why, in your opinion, is the coach and the quarterback just that much of an X factor when it comes to winning games? Because, look, I don't mean any disrespect here, Bill, but a lot of Jimmys and Joes on that offensive side of the football, and you got Travis Kelce on the back nine now. You got your O-liners. No doubt they had to move Tooney out to the tackle spot, so they kind of limited there a little bit. You've got Creed Humphrey, who's a great football player, but, man, there's just not a lot of superstars, but it's a great team. Explain it to me.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's been trying to explain it, and everybody sees it the same way you do. All the football experts and all the people that play the game and bring it in the pros, they look at it and they say, wow, how? How is this occurring with the people that are there in place? And they find ways. I think offensively they're ranked 16th. This is by far the lowest their ranking that they've ever had since Andy and Mahomes have been together. But think about this, Sills. This is unbelievable. Since Patrick Mahomes became the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, his worst season was his first season. They lost the AFC Championship game in overtime. That's his worst season thus far. Can you?
No.
So there's so many things that you can look at and say, nope, they're not good enough. Nope, they're not. There's so many teams that have played, that have come in, that are a better roster, that are a better offense or defense across the board than the Chiefs, but they play complementary football when they need to, and they find a way to pull it out.
Bill, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you had to play 60 minutes and everything was equal, would you take Brady or Mahomes in a Super Bowl?
Mahomes. I've never seen a guy that sees the field the way he sees the field while it's live, while it's happening. Tom was really good at the things he did, but look at the aspects that Mahomes brings to the table, other than just as a pocket passer. Look at all the things he's done that has changed the way the quarterback position is being played, and it changes the way that quite frankly, the way that general managers are now evaluating college quarterbacks. They have to meet that standard of being able to do more things than they were during the era of the Tom Brady era. So, yeah, I think he's really changed the position as a whole. And like I said, the kid, you can't bet against him. Like Philadelphia game. Look at the Philadelphia team from top to bottom, better roster, right? Unbelievable players.
They were in 22 too.
Yeah. And here's the deal. Both those times the Philadelphia Eagles came in riding real high. They beat the San Francisco 49ers back then by, I think it was 33-7 in the NFC Championship game. Nobody thought that was going to happen because the 49ers were playing such good football. Philadelphia dismantled them. Nobody saw what was coming in that shutout against the Commanders. Nobody saw that coming. They feel good about themselves. But can they play and can they perform when there's a pressure-filled moment on every play that counts? I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet on that because it's going to come down to the full 60 minutes in this game.
You think that's what's been the difference in the last two Super Bowls between the Eagles and the 49ers?
Yes.
That there was one moment, the scoop where Jalen fumbled, or like last year with Purdy making a mistake and then Jones getting the sack that kind of turned the tide to put it into overtime and them to win. In a game like that, for you, it's those critical moments because every yard, every inch matters and every sequence of play matters. You're just not sold that someone can match that guy and maybe even that coach for 60 minutes in that ball game.
Yeah, not when the pressure's up and every decision you make counts. Not whenever play you call. Spags is the same way. I mean, he's got that mentality. When that pressure is turned up and every decision counts, and then you're faced with different circumstances, they're ready to respond. They've seen it. They've been down there. This is the largest 17 games in a row, historic, one-score games they've won, all of them. Nobody's done that in the history of the NFL before. This is the longest streak ever. A one-score game for 17 in a row. So they're used to that circumstance, and they're when that turns up, it doesn't bother them. They're like, they know what to do.
What has been different in your mind, Bill, covering the league the way you've covered it all the years, from Andy Reid in Philadelphia and him now in Kansas City? Can it just be really the difference between McNabb and Mahomes? Is that really just the difference? Is Andy the same guy, in your opinion, you saw in Philadelphia to where he is now? Or do you think he's calmer now? Do you think he's more trusting maybe of his quarterback? There's less guardrails, because the one thing that's synonymous with both teams, he never believed in wide receivers in Philly outside of T.O. in 04. Okay, he believes in a big-time tight end, which he had there in Philadelphia. He believes it, obviously, in Kansas City. I wouldn't be shocked if they go out and find another big time after Travis is done with what he does there. So it looks like the same shit. Spags was on his coaching staff early on, too, in 04, 03, when he was there with John Harbaugh. What's the difference in your mind? Philadelphia Andy Reid, Kansas City Andy Reid.
I think anytime you become a first-time head coach, you learn a lot. I mean, I look at Dan Quinn. I mean, I think he learned a lot his first go around in Atlanta to this time around up in Washington. And I think Andy, although he had a lot of success in Philadelphia, going to a Super Bowl and NFC Championship games and whatnot, were there things that he could have done different? Yeah. And once you're over that top, once as a head coach, once you cross the line of enough wins and enough respect that it doesn't matter the age of the player coming in, that you've got their respect. And Andy's been able to do that. And the second go around here in Kansas City with Alex Smith coming in and winning right out of the gates. He's been in the playoffs ever since he got here, right? 2013. And then getting Patrick Mahomes and building the team the way he wants and letting him learn how to be a professional under Al. All those things together combined have made this come together and what it is. You don't see the turnover either with this older coaching staff. Dave Tobe isn't going anywhere. Spags isn't going anywhere. Their names get brought up all the time. They're paid extremely well. They're comfortable with who they are and what they're doing. And so it's not a young coaching staff where all the other coordinators and assistant coaches are looking to get promoted and get their own gig going. It's intact. They've been preaching the same thing for 8 years here, right? And so that carries a lot of weight too. So it's a combination of a lot of things there, Sills, but Andy and Pat together have just been the perfect storm.
You got to look at what Barkley has done, and I'll tell you something. Bill, I've seen great running backs before. Now I really believe that the New York Giants failed him in New York by not giving him the old line that they have in Philly, obviously. The coaching and the support around him, he has just been sensational. In your opinion, is that really the engine that they have to shut down if Kansas City's going to win this game? Because, Bill, I've never seen anything like a guy just take games over, where you watch a guy with an arm tackle, you're like, if that guy does an arm tackle and Billy hits his head on the goalpost, I mean, yeah, he's had such a season. It's been remarkable. Is that the key to this game?
I think the combination of the two together, I think with Jalen too. Jalen's been a better quarterback with his play. He doesn't have to be the Josh Allen. You saw how Jackson in Baltimore got better with Derrick Henry. So the combination of the two of them is lethal. There's no doubt. And as good as their offense is with that offensive line and the running game and the quarterback, I'm not so sure if their defensive front isn't that good as well. I mean, those front four, Dan, I mean, Chiefs are going to have a tough time battling those guys. When you're talking about Sweat and Nolan Smith, and you're talking about Carter, I mean, those guys are players now. I mean, they can get to the quarterback real quick without bringing a blitz, and that changes things.
Bill, speaking of Jalen Carter, I said this about him prior to the draft and then after the draft. You know, I played with Jerome. And
Yep.
so I look at him and I go, man, hands, feet. He's a little bigger than what Jerome was, like 6'2.5". This kid's like 6'3.5", 6'4". He moves so well. And Bill, he's dominant inside there too. He's got a great bull rush. He uses the corners. I mean, he gets on the edges and does a great job. I mean, what's your take on him and how you've seen him play? You got a great one there in Chris Jones. Maybe this is the heir apparent to Chris Jones when this guy hangs it up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both of them, they're as big as they are and as quick as they are, and it's flexible using their ability to, they're very flexible inside, and to be able to rush the passer in the manner that they do is really impressive. Carter's got some speed too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some wheels for his size. So, I mean, he could be one of the best dominant. Now, it's early in his career. He's got a long way to go. We've seen, defensive tackles. Dan, you played it. It's tough. It's demanding. You've got a window that you got, and it's usually 2 to 3 years when you can be great, and then all the wear and tear finally catches up to you. So his best is yet to come for sure.
Howie Long told me, it's funny, you get smarter, then your body falls apart. You kind of know what to do, but at the end of the day, what you're saying there, hey, you get all this knowledge, and before you know it, you go, I can't do it. I can't get there like that.
Right.
So that's what Howie was saying. So your guy, Chris Jones, talk about him a little bit. You've played next to, you've been yourself. You've seen some of the absolute great players in the game. How good is Chris Jones when you're talking about his place in history, and we're maybe even in that great Chiefs history?
Yeah, I think legacy is his thing now, Dan. I mean, he got a contract. He got a contract squabble. I mean, 30 years old, and they're 29. They paid him and gave him a 4-year deal, and at that time, your body's kind of turning the corner, and the numbers usually don't show up anymore. He's showing up. I mean, his last 2 years, when he brings it to rush the passer, and there's nobody's going to stop him, when it's one-on-one. When he wants to get there, he's going to get there. It's impressive to watch. He's really grown as an individual. When he first came in, it's kind of, you got to reel him in a little bit. You still got to reel him in. You still got to reel him in a little bit, but he has the ability to take over a game from the inside, and we've seen it.
Two last ones here for you. This may be a dumb question for you, Bill, because obviously everyone sees the one guy and they don't really see the other guy. Over these last 3 years here, you guys going for a three-peat. Who's been more instrumental in that three-peat, Spagnuolo or Reid?
Well, man, that's tough. I'll tell you this. You mentioned two guys, but I'll say overall as a team, there's nobody that's been driven more on this team that drives everybody, including drives Andy, then drives Spags, and drives the entire team. Patrick Mahomes sets the tone every single day at practice. Every single day. Every single day he goes to practice, it's him that sets the tone, and everybody else follows. Now, I know what you're talking about. When you talk about putting packages together on offense and defense and all those things, and both those coaches are really good at what they do. Spags has an uncanny way. I mean, if there's a Hall of Fame for assistant coaches, Spags should be that guy. He's had that MO with him since he became the coordinator of the Giants. He'll take a defense that doesn't look like anything on paper, and by the end of the season, they are world class. And if you follow the trends and his numbers throughout his career, where his defenses start and where they finish in the playoffs, it's just unbelievable the things he does. So I know that's a little bit different than you wanted to go, but that was my touch on those.
How about this one? Here's the last one here. It just seems to me that Andy likes familiarity. Like, I mean, all of his coaching staff guys have been with him someplace, somewhere, some down the line in Philly. I mean, look at Brett Veach. Brett Veach was a special teams guy. He was like a quality control guy. And before you know it, all of a sudden he comes up the ranks, and here he is. He's now a general manager. And, they mention Howie Roseman all the time as being the best general manager in football. I'm like, hang on, the guy in Kansas City's going for his 4th ring. I mean, I don't think you could just dismiss it. He's never talked about, though, with like the Nick Caseros or the Eric DeCostas or those guys. He's kind of the dude in the background. Like, he's not on the sideline doing the hoochie coochie dance like Howie Roseman's doing. This guy's, I'd never see him. I'd never seen him do a presser. I mean, is he the silent guy in this whole thing that makes this thing work?
You want to blow your mind, go back and look at the transactions for the 2024 Kansas City Chiefs. It's freaking unbelievable. He's gone from the time training camp has started until now, the things he has done and gotten. Mind you, okay, we had a different wide receiver core in training camp than we have now. He went out in October and signed Juju Smith-Schuster. We traded. We got Hopkins, right?
Yeah,
Hopkins. Okay, wait a second. Guess who was sitting at home? Number 29 was sitting at home.
Oh, that's right, Kareem Hunt.
He was sitting at home on the couch. We didn't have a running back. We had issues. We got people hurt. He's gone out and found
18 months. Hadn't played in 18 months too.
How about this? We went through 3 kickers this year. 2 of them kicked game-winning field goals. One's still on the practice squad, and one guy had to get cut so that Butker could come back. So I mean, yeah, the things he's put together throughout the course of the year and through the time he's been here has really been remarkable.
I mean, and then you're saying Matter is a field-changing punter. You do all those things in the offseason, and I'm really glad to see him get an opportunity at kicking again because I know the kid personally. Obviously, went to school with my daughter, and that whole thing, I'm glad to see Andy gave him a lifeline there, and he's been absolutely great. But I'll tell you, Bill, this is going to be a big one here, and I'll end it with this. You think KC ends up winning the 3rd in a row? I'm
not going to bet against them. I can tell you that. There's no way. There's nobody that can. I mean, everybody's looked at it and said, there's no way they can. And every time they say that, they find a way to get it done. So I understand what Philly is. It's definitely the better team. There's no doubt. But I'm not going to bet against those two.
How many years have people been saying that? The last 2 years, 49ers had the better roster. The Eagles had a better roster. Now the Eagles have it again. And here we are.
That's why I'm not saying. That's why I'm saying I'm not betting against them.
The guys down that have like the casinos and the guys, they don't lose money in Vegas, folks. Just so you know, they got the Chiefs 1.5-point favorites now. I think that's for a reason, no?
Yeah, no doubt, buddy.
Bill, thank you so much. You know what I think of you, brother. You're one of the mentors for me back in the day when you and Pizzulli would help me out a lot, man. You guys really made me want to go and play college football and do the things I did, and I can't thank you enough. And our friendship has gone on for 40 years now. Thank you so much, brother.
You got it, brother. Be good, man. Love talking to you.
You bet. That is Bill Maas. Absolutely. We look forward to seeing this Super Bowl in 12 days. Loved him at Pitt, and he's a PA guy, man. So just so you know here, hit the like button. Appreciate everybody. Don't forget our friends at BetUS. 12 days away to Super Bowl 59. Hey, Sue, another friend? They're all friends. How you doing? You'd be a friend too, Sue. If you put them damn red shoes on. How you doing? Red bottoms. Red bottoms, Sue. All right, our friends at BetUS. Make sure you guys check them out during this time. Great chance for you to be in partnership with the guys that we have been in partnership the entire football season for the YouTube 150. That's right. Sign-up bonuses up to $2K. Your second and third are 125%. Up to $2K. And if you're into crypto, that's 200%. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games. That's betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sil sent you.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. Hit that like button, bitches. 12 days to the Super Bowl. How you doing? I saw some dickhead in here go like this. Thought this was an Eagle channel. Who the fuck you playing? The Cardinals? Know your enemy, douchebag. Know your enemy. How you doing? Okay? The art of war. It's true, though. Kansas City doesn't have the talent that the Philadelphia Eagles have. The only thing they have is the quarterback. That shows you how great Mahomes is. You're better at every fucking position except center and quarterback. And D-tackle. And D-tackle. Okay? You're not better than Chris Jones. You're not better than Creed Humphrey. And you're not better than Patrick Mahomes. But I think you got him at every other position. McDuffie's probably better than Slay and Quinn. And Quinion Mitchell. So they probably got 4 dudes. Okay? Oh, now 5-star's pretty right. And the refs. I forgot about the refs. You're right. You do have the refs. We're going to do Super Bowl storylines for Super Bowl 59. And we still got to get to the most improved Eagles this year. Okay? The most improved Philadelphia Eagles. We're going to do that here in a second here. Do me a favor, guys. Please hit the like button. We appreciate everybody coming aboard. We're almost at 450. That's kind of what I wanted. I'd love to see if we can get to 500 likes. That would be absolutely insane. If you guys could push that to 500 likes, I believe, give me a total right now and where we are, because we're starting the top of the hour here. I think we can get 100 in this last one, or maybe 90, and we could finish off with 500 likes. That would be absolutely insane. Yesterday, over 600. Today, over 5. We're at 520 or 420 right now. We need 80 more likes to get to 500 today. Fantastic stuff. Please do me a favor, guys. Hit the like button here. All right. I'm going to do this one first. The most improved. Who do you think, what Eagle do you think has been the most improved player this year? The most improved Eagle. And by the way, it can't be Zach Bond. It can't be Saquon Barkley. It can't be any of those guys. They weren't on the ball team a year ago. Okay? They were not. Who is the most improved? Let's go down the list. Cam Jurgens. Has he been an upgrade to a Pro Football Hall of Famer? And Jason Kelce, yes or no? He played guard last year, and now he is a Pro Bowl center, which we predicted. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl center. Do you believe that he's the most? I mean, there's been no drop-off. He's actually elevated the team. He's actually made the run game better. How's he not the most improved? You improved the run game off of Jason Kelce. So there's one. Let's go to two. By the way, these are not in any respected order. Becton wasn't on the team a year ago. Milton Williams. Has Milton Williams gotten better from a year ago to today? Guy was a role player. Now, he is going to be one of the most coveted free agents. Supposedly, the Patriots, the Steelers, are going to be in a bidding war for him. He's going to command $15 million. Has Milton Williams had a great year? I think he has. I think he's played really well. He's one of the higher graded guys, according to PFF. Here's another one. Jalen Carter. Has Jalen Carter been the most improved player on the team? You could make the argument that Dexter Lawrence, Giants, Chris Jones, Cam Hayward, and Jalen Carter are the four best interior D linemen in the league. No? How in the world do you not look at Jalen Carter and go, hey, he was decent last year. This year, he is a force. A force. Here's another one. Nolan Smith. Last 7 games. What have they played now? 20 games? He's been good 7 games. And really, quite frankly, you can make the argument the greatest thing ever happened to Nolan Smith was Brandon Graham getting hurt. Brandon Graham getting hurt elevated Nolan Smith's play. I mean, right? By the way, this is not a conversation of, Sills, are you saying you're thankful that Brandon Graham got hurt. I don't know how you could assess that. But, of course, there's so many people out there that have low-thinking brains that would think that. That's not what I'm saying. Because Brandon Graham got injured, Nolan Smith's game elevated. And huff-sucking. How about the quiet guy? Reid Blankenship. Reid Blankenship? Take Reid Blankenship off that defense. Okay? And see how bad you are. Every time you put Avonte Maddox back there, people hold their breath. Right? They hold their breath. What does Vic say about him? Hey, man, that guy communicates everything down the line from corner to corner, and he is essential in what we do. He's got a great knack for the game. He's got a knack to find where the ball is. He's a playmaker. I'm not saying he's your best defensive football player, but I am saying he's one of your more important football players. Right? Yeah, I like that. The IQ is off the charts. It's great. Then to Kobe Dean. Dean had like 260-some snaps. And then to see how well he played. So I wrote these guys down. Cam Jurgens, Milton Williams, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. These are guys that have been on the team most improved. Nolan Smith, Reid Blankenship, Nakobe Dean. I see somebody wants to put Jordan Mailata in there. I don't think Jordan Mailata is that much improved from a year ago. I think Mailata was great a year ago, and I think he's great this year. He's one of the highest-rated guys a year ago, and he's one of the highest, if not the highest-rated tackle this year. I think he's a great player. I don't think his drop-off has been anywhere near anything. He was good a year ago. Who would you take and give the award for the most improved Philadelphia Eagle this year? Jurgens? Williams. I'm going to rank them too. Jurgens, Williams, Carter, Smith, Blankenship, and Dean. Is there anybody else you would add? For me, let's take this guy here. Do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 guys. 4, 5, 6. The 6th. Who would be the 6th? Becton wasn't on the team a year ago. How could you be the most improved when you haven't been on the team a year ago? Okay? Who would be the most improved Eagle in 2024? To me, it's between Jurgens, Carter, and Dean. And nobody has outplayed. Nobody has outplayed Jalen Carter this year on that list. Jurgens, Jurgens has made the Pro Bowl. Chiefs will have the black and white striped jerseys. I got it. If I had to pick the most improved Eagle, it's not Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith hasn't played 17 to 20 weeks of great football and improved to where he has not. He's played the last 8 games where he's gotten better in the playoffs. He's really been well, really played well. But if I had to pick the most improved Philadelphia Eagle this year, I'm going to pick Jalen Carter. My second would be Cam Jurgens. Replacing who again did Nakobe replace? I must have missed. I can't think of who did Kobe replace? Jurgens replaced the Hall of Famer, and it elevated the team's O-line. I'm going Cam. Three, I will go Nakobe Dean here. Four, so Carter 1, Cam Jurgens 2, Nakobe Dean 3, Nolan Smith 4. 5, I'm going to go Milton Williams. And then Reid. Here's my top 5 most improved Eagles. Jalen Carter 1. Where he was a year ago, now he's being considered one of the top defensive tackles in all of pro football. Zach Bond, okay, albeit wasn't on the team a year ago, Nakobe's had a really good year. Nobody's questioning that. But Carter is off the charts. I got Cam too. Cam replaced the Hall of Famer, and you had a 2,000-yard rusher. What more do you want me to say? Number 3, got to go Nakobe Dean here. Really had a great year. He did. He's the 3rd most improved. Nolan Smith. Think about this for a second. Let me ask you this. If Brandon Graham hadn't been brought back, do you think Nolan Smith would be further along? And that the only reason that Nolan Smith is where he is because of a tragedy on Brandon Graham getting hurt? What if they had started him at the beginning of the year instead of Huff? Look it up, okay? Becton and Barkley were not on the team last year. Okay? No love for Slay. I don't think Slay's game has improved. I think Slay's a good player every year. I think Milton Williams has had a nice year. Really good year. And I think Reid has improved his stock with the team. So here, Jalen Carter 1, most improved Eagle. Cam Jurgens 2. Nolan Smith 3. Nakobe Dean 3. Nolan Smith 4. Milton Williams 5. And Reid Blankenship 6. Carter's just been too impressive. He's just been too impressive this year. Guys, hit the like button. Give me a total on that likes. Love to get us potentially to 500 likes. We're almost there. I know we are. All right. I'm going to give you guys my 10 storylines heading into Super Bowl 59. Okay? There's going to be so many great storylines heading into Super Bowl 59 with both these teams. 437. Guys, we're almost there. We're like we're right around the corner here on getting to 500 likes. I think we can do it. Thank you guys so much. Keep hitting that like button. Thank you so much for all your supers today, too. We really appreciate it. Love the fact we had the giveaway today, too. Guys were great. Here are my 10 storylines for Super Bowl 59. The quest for 3 sits at the top. Is Kansas City going to do it? Are they going to win 3 in a row? Are you really going to bet against Mahomes? Or are you convincing yourself right now? Are you convincing yourself? We're 58 away, Philly. Don, thank you. Are you betting against Mahomes? Yale, you're betting against Mahomes, right? How many people in here are betting against a guy who's won 3 Super Bowls and been to 5 of them? Okay? You're betting against him. Okay? Super Bowl or bust. I love it, Chuck. Hey, listen. I'm not a ref guy, but I believe it. Do you think that's got anything to do with Taylor Swift? Do you? Do you think that's got anything to do with her? Like, there's a lot of eyeballs when she's at the ball game. I mean, social media blows up when she's at the ball game. You think there's some shit to that? I thought it was the dumb. Somebody goes, Sills, they want Taylor Swift at these Super Bowls because it's more visibility because her fan base brings a ton of eyeballs to the game because her boy is playing. I'm with you, Jack. I doubt it, but I also happen to go. I mean, I don't know, man. The refs, some of it just seems very odd. Let's see what Senor says. Yes, the entertainment NFL company wants the Chiefs to win. Swift brings in eyeballs. I happen to like her at the games. I think it's awesome. She looks like a great fan. I hear she's really awesome in the suite there, man. She gives everybody $1,000 that's in there that's serving. The guy's a driver up to the suite elevator. I heard she gives those guys $1,000. I hear she's very generous. I mean, so I don't have a problem with her being at the game. I actually like it. I think it's cool. I mean, I like it. I don't have a problem like everyone. Some other NFL guys have a problem with it. I'm like, what the fuck do you care? The more people you get to the game, the more people you have watching it. I think it's a good thing. She's from Lancaster, PA. I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Taylor Swift is an Eagle trader. I saw her in an Eagle jacket once, man. I did. So I think that three-peat is going to be an issue. And I think that's going to be a major storyline. Here, I'm going to make an off-color comment here. This is not one of my storylines. But tell me if you think this is an ESPN story. Hey, by the way, there's 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl. There's two white coaches in the Super Bowl. You know ESPN. They'll ruin anything. Okay? They'll ruin anything. Most improved Eagle. Have an identity. That's an ESPN Ryan Clark topic. Really, like this, 2 black quarterbacks are playing against one another in the Super Bowl. Yeah, man, okay, guy. We're not blind and stupid. We know what's going on here. Okay? Yale goes, we're past that. Want somebody tell ESPN that shit. They're trying to turn the MVP award into a racial conversation between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. I mean, nothing's on merit anymore. Everything with some people's eyes are through race. It's too bad because that's how you see it. I don't know. When I'm sitting in a stadium at Lincoln Financial and I'm sitting next to a fan, I don't look at him and go, I'm sitting next to a black guy. I look at him, I'm sitting next to an Eagle fan. Funny, the networks don't see it that way. Okay. That's right. Rico goes, dude, I see 2 teams. It's funny. The fans, we all see it like that. Funny how the media doesn't. You know why? Because race sells. It's a great industry today. Race baiting is enormous. What a big business that is. Check out your local newses and check out your national newses. Okay? Check out the news. Pit everybody against everybody. All we want to be as fans. That's why people, I watch shit a lot of times with the volume down. Stupid shit. Ryan Clark will bait anything into a race conversation. Fucking ignorant. He's the worst type broadcaster. Hey, when people cry wolf 100 billion times, nobody hears you. When you see something, you know what it is when it's racist. The Rooney Rule is racist. Hey, let me interview a black guy so I can hire my boy. That's racist. Not the MVP. Okay? Okay, I understand that that's his job, but pick your night, pick your time. The Rooney Rule is a racist rule, but they won't cover that. You know why? Because the league would have a cow over that. You see, Rooney Rule is code for affirmative action. Let me interview the black guy so I can hire my white guy. How about the best guy? Here, don't let me talk like that again. Because somebody will take 2% of what I say and spin it into some bullshit. Let me get to number 3. Or number 2, excuse me. So the 3-peat, I think it's a big deal. Number 2. How great is Barkley? This guy goes for 200 yards in the Super Bowl. This would be one of the greatest runs, no pun intended. This will be the great, that's why CNN has no ratings too, Tim. This will be the greatest run I've ever seen a running back go on. I can't believe how great he's been this year. Overachieved, over-excelled, over-delivered. Holy cow. He makes $12 million a year. If you paid that guy 20, I'd feel comfortable going, he's worth it. He is something else this year. You know, I'm not a guy that says I'm wrong a lot. I couldn't have been more wrong about Saquon Barkley because the Giants failed him miserably. Every time I watched him in New York, I thought he was never the second pick because he never looked the part. Man, he is everything. Hey, by the way, after watching him, let me ask you this, guys. After watching him and what he's done in the playoffs, there's no doubt he'd have blew by that record, right? That 2105, he would have blew by that. Okay? Number 3. Brady's going to be in the booth watching Mahomes. Guy with 7 rings. He's going to be looking at Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes playing in the game. You know what? Would you not agree? You could actually name that Super Bowl trophy, the MVP trophy. You could name that after Tom Brady. Don't you agree, Yale? You know how you could probably name the World Series MVP after Reggie Jackson? You could probably put Tom Brady's name on that MVP trophy and name it the Tom Brady Award. Okay, and there's Brady calling the game. And here you have the greatest winner in Super Bowl history sitting there, having gone to 10 of those games, and he's going to be watching you play the position. That's pretty cool. And you're going to get the insight of what a Super Bowl champion quarterback is going to be telling you while you watch the game and what he should see. Dude, Tony Romo, hey, I'm okay with Troy Aikman. Aikman's got 3. Tony Romo calling a fucking Super Bowl versus Tom Brady. One guy's an ice cream salesman. The other guy's a steak salesman. Tom Brady's going to show you and tell you all the things he sees in that particular game, how important every sequence is. What the hell does Romo know about Super Bowls? What can he possibly know about it? Here, the only thing I can think Tony Romo knows about Super Bowls is the media meal. Right? The media meal. The fuck would he know? Number 4, storylines. Super Bowl 59. Vic Fangio has never won a Super Bowl ring in his 24 years of being a head coach or defensive coordinator. He's never won a Super Bowl ring. Is he going to do it this year? All the great years of him being a defensive-minded guy, Vic has never won a Super Bowl. He's considered one of the great minds in NFL history. And now you get a shot at winning a ring. Let me ask you guys something real quick before I move on. Did you think when Andy went to Kansas City and got the Kansas City Chiefs job, did you think Andy would win rings? Did you think he would continue winning, or did you think he was going to be put out the pasture like Vermeil was in the first couple of years when Vermeil got the job coming out of retirement with the Rams? How many of you thought he was going to go to Kansas City and do what he's done in Kansas City? I can't think any of you. Because he ran out of gas in Philly. By the way, you know what the narrative's going to be outside of Philadelphia? You fired this guy. When, after 14 years, I'm with you. Fuck it. You can't get it done? Same thing with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. You can't keep calling the guy a great play caller and a great coach when the guy hasn't won dick. You can't. You can't. Yale says it's a dynasty if they beat Philly. Well, I don't know, Yale. Going to 8 straight AFC championships? Now this is your 5th Super Bowl in 8 years? You don't think that's a dynasty with 3 wins? What do you call the Cowboy dynasty? People call the Cowboys what they did, 3-4. This is 5 appearances in 8 years with 3 wins. That's a dynasty, man. Smaller than New England, obviously, but number 5, Super Bowl in New Orleans. This is the 11th time they tie Miami for the most Super Bowls hosted. The New Orleans Super Bowl in the Superdome. I played both collegiately and professionally there. Played against the Saints when I was with the Buccaneers. And I played in the Sugar Bowl. New Orleans is a great place. It's a great city. I think they put on a great Super Bowl. They always do. It's a sports town. The fan base is great. The Superdome, I absolutely love it. It's one of the loudest places and one of the loudest buildings on the planet. I mean, that place is really cool. I mean, I like New Orleans. I had a great time in New Orleans when I went there. I think one of my Super Bowl badges. Maybe one of you guys can look this up. But I think one of my Super Bowl badges, either this one. I got a bunch of them. I think Super Bowl 50, I think it was in San Fran. Okay? I think it was in San Fran. This one here. But I think this one was in New Orleans. I got a bunch of these, man. They're all over the house. My daughter loves them. All these press passes. I've been everywhere. I've been to World Series. I've been to NBA Finals. I've been to Stanley Cup Finals. I've been to Army, Navy. Jesus criminy. I've been everywhere in this thing. Hit the like button. Guys, give me a total where we are. Okay? Give me a like total. Sills, when he was a boss, Leon, I could go anywhere I want to this. Except I don't need the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. Okay? 454. We're 46 away from 500. Come on, guys. We're 30 minutes away. 452. Let's go. We're 48 away. Hit the like button. We appreciate you guys. All right. Number 6. How much of this do you think is going to play into the game? I thought I would never in a million years ever bring this up on my storylines heading into this game. Officials. How is the game going to be officiated? Do you think the game will be officiated tight? If the game is officiated tight, I think it favors Philly. If the game is officiated loose, that means Kansas City will get the benefit of the doubt. I think you want a tight game called because that makes it fair, and that means you got to stop the run. I think you want a tightly contested ref game because you know why? If you go by the rules, Kansas City can't beat you. If you don't go by the rules, Kansas City can beat you. Okay? And I think the only way you keep it fair is by keeping it close. And because if you start seeing this, they're letting these guys play in the secondary. They're going to allow every single thing to happen for Kansas City's wide receivers. And it's going to look really bad. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no doubt Park Avenue, the league offices, they're looking at this going like this because this is a storyline now. Remember, controversy sells. Okay? Controversy sells. People are going to be looking at this. Okay? This is a big deal. If you call it tight, I can't see how Kansas City beats you. If you call it loose, it favors Kansas City. Okay? So keep an eye on the refs in this ball game. Call it tight the entire game. No BS pass interference for Kansas City given. That's my call. Reasons why 22 never sat well with me. Don't let these guys say, if you hear the announcer saying this, they're letting them play. I don't want to hear that. If you hear that and you're an Eagle fan and you hear that right now and you hear people saying, hey, they're letting them play, that favors Kansas City big time, okay? You don't want to hear that. That's not what you want to hear. They're letting them play. That means that Kansas City's going to get the benefit of the doubt, okay, on every single pass interference call, and they're going to be calling flags everywhere. Dude, if you see this in this game too, in 12 days, where you see 20 penalties or 18 penalties, 15, 16 penalties, Kansas City's going to win that game. You can't have that, okay? By the way, I think the AstroTurf favors the Eagles. You're going to play faster on it. You're a faster team. You have faster players. You got younger players. There's no way they match your team speed. No way. Okay? The AstroTurf indoors is going to favor you. Who's Kansas City have? Xavier Worthy? Fair enough. But is Xavier Worthy the same type of receiver Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? No way. He's still a project. Okay? He's still a project, in my opinion. Dude, that's right. Very good here. Yale. Barkley on AstroTurf is scary. Don't be shocked if you see holding calls against the Eagles. That's tip-off, pass interference, and holding calls to negate some of those Barkley runs. Keep an eye on that. By the way, I hate talking like this. Number 7, Hurts. I've never seen a guy win so many games with such low production. If Jalen Hurts has 350 yards in the game, you lose. If Jalen Hurts has 200 yards throwing the ball and 65 yards rushing, I think you win the game. That's been your formula all year. For those of you out there that want to see Jalen Hurts throw for 350 yards and 60, you'll lose. Stick to what got you there. Stick to doing what has been asked of him, and you'll win it. Rooting for Hurts to get 300 passing yards is a flaw. Okay? Don't turn the ball over. Be effective, whatever that looks like. I've seen Jalen Hurts throw for 120 yards this year and have 50 yards rushing, and you beat teams by 20. The fuck do you want? What do you care? Seriously. Don't you want the masterpiece? Does it really matter what the technique was to get you the masterpiece? Stay the course. That's right. I like that, Tony. Stay the course. 30 more likes. Thank you, Sue. Get us to 500, man. Hurts threw for 304 in 2022 and lost. Mahomes threw for 182 and won. Yeah. Isn't that what Jalen possibly has learned? Even with that backhanded slap? The 182 passing yards in that 2022-23 Super Bowl were the more effective passing yards than the 300 yards. You know why Jalen had to go for 300 yards in that game? Because your run game sucked. Except for Hurts. Couldn't do it by himself. There was more balance. And remember something. Kansas City beat you with situational play calling. They don't beat you with numbers. Take the game out of the ref's hands. Go and just kick the stuffing out of them. Okay? Personally, I disagree with that right there, my friend. I never thought they should have got away from Sanders. I think the coaching staff panicked. Who gives a shit if he fumbled? Fuck it. If Barkley fumbles, are you going to go away from him too? Keep feeding the guy. The guy had 1,300 yards that year. They got away from him because they didn't have confidence in him. And all year long, he had 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns. And they got away from him, and he had 16 yards. It was a dumb play. It was a dumb thing to do to stop going to him. He put the ball on the carpet early. They stopped it. They had no run game after that except for Hurts. Then Hurts put the ball on the ground. There were 2 fumbles. Run game got shot to shit. This year, you're going to have a run game, and you're built on that run game. You're not built on the quarterback. You're built on the quarterback's importance. Not saying that. Okay? Barkley and Sanders, pretty different, Sills. Well, really, Jack? You had 25 touchdowns between the two that year, and you had 1,300, and if I'm not mistaken, you had another 8. So you had 2,100 or 2,200 yards that year rushing between the two dudes. This year, you got 2,600 yards. Okay? And what is it? Jalen had 14 TDs this year. What did Barkley have? Like 12? That's 26. Not that much a difference, dude. I mean, 25 TDs, 26 TDs. 2,600 yards, 2,200 yards. Okay, about 400-yard difference. That's a deal. That's a deal. But they had a lot of production out of both those dudes. Okay? Barkley, I'm not saying Barkley's not better. I'm saying the production they put up that year was impressive too in 22. One guy had 1,300 yards. The other guy had 800 rushing. Both guys accounted for 25 touchdowns that season in 22. That's very productive. You've only had one more touchdown produced between Barkley and Hurts this year than you did in 22. It's not like you had a dramatic difference in scoring between Sanders and Barkley, or Sanders and Sanders and Hurts, than Barkley and Hurts. You had one touchdown difference. So it was awesome, Jimmy Johnson's story you told last week. Thank you. Thank you. Hit the like button. Yell says that he melted in the Super Bowl. I think the coaching staff fucked up and got away from the run game. I think it was a dumb move. If you don't want Sanders, do what they did in the offseason. But that guy helped me get the 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns rushing, and you just stopped giving the ball to him was fucking dumb. I'm going to die on the vine with my guys. I'm going to die on the vine. Yeah. And how many points did they score in that Super Bowl, that offense? Put a lot of points up. Number 8. A.J. Brown. How important is he going to be in the passing game on Super Bowl Sunday? What did he get? Just a tick under 100 in the NFC Championship game? What will his impact be in the Super Bowl? Is it going to be a priority that they're going to target his ass in this game? Kansas City's a good football team. Okay? That's a good football team. By the way, can somebody tell me, what did AJ have in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs in 22? Now, remember, they had Snead back there then, too. They don't have him. Okay? They don't have him this time. I think their pass defense ain't that horrible. I think it's more their run defense this year has been questionable. Pass defense is 18th. They're 8th against the run. So AJ could have a day here. Anybody remember what AJ had? 6 for 96 he had in that Super Bowl? Is that right? Pat, is that what it was? That's not a bad day. That's a great day, actually. Yeah, 96, okay. 96 will get it done. 1 TD. That'll get it done. Number 9. These are the storylines for me going into Super Bowl 59. 96 is really good. I mean, a TD, I'm good with that. Number 9. Are the Chiefs the new villains of the NFL? Are they the new villains? They're the new villains. You know, when you win a lot and you're always on top, people want to see you get knocked off. See, Patriots were the villains. Spygate, Deflategate, Belichick at the podium, all that bullshit played into it. Hey, by the way, media thinks the Philadelphia Eagle fan base is arrogant. You want to know what an arrogant fan base is? Fucking listen to the Chief fans talk. All smug and bullshit. Okay? These guys like drink milk out of the cows they have in their garage. You know, everything is all wholesome there and shit. Me, I'm more like you guys, man. Sitting on a park bench, you know, drinking a 40 and I'm ready to roll. You know what I mean? I mean, these guys, like, you know, these guys go out and get their eggs from like a chicken they got out back, and then they go out there and they get on the other. I don't know if I can do that on TV, but how you doing? Great steaks, great steakhouses, great ribs in Kansas City. Bobby Bell's Rib Place used to be one of the top ones, man. That was a dope-ass place. All wholesome and shit. You know? No swearing and stuff. Yeah, my aunt would probably love that. Everything is all good and shit, you know? Nothing like in Philly or, you know, the New England area. Everything's all nice. Not fucking cold winter. Hey, all nice, clean water. You and me drink that yellow shit, you know? KC. They got great ribs. I won't lie, man. It's a pretty great fan base. It really is. Water's clean and shit. Everything's all nice, man. People are all nice. Hey, you want to come on in? See, if you say that to somebody in Philly, watch this. You know, you walk around there in Kansas City. Hey, how you doing? Where you from? I'm from Philly. Oh, wow. That's a big city. And you're like, yeah, okay. And they go, how'd you like to come in for some pecan pie? Somebody in Philly will look at you and go, what are you, fucking poisoning me? What are you, crazy? I'm not coming in your house eating any food. What are you, a psycho? Right here, here's another one. Hey, this is Billy Bob from Kansas City. Can you tell me what time it is? Imagine asking somebody from Philly what time it is. Hey, what the fuck do I look like? Big Ben? What do I look like? Big Ben? Holy shit. A pecan pie. Oh, man. Chiefs are the new villain. Okay. And my last one. Holy cow. Here's the storyline. And now, I'm going to put this out here for you. You know how you see Rich Eisen at the combines running that 40? If you win this Super Bowl, you think you'll see Usain Bolt running up and down the sidelines, but that'll be a shorter version of Usain Bolt, and it'll be Howie Roseman. This fucking guy will go from one end zone to the next end zone, and he'll be running up and down the sideline, going back and forth, making sure everybody. I'll be surprised if he doesn't have a giant big old sombrero on that says, I'm the GM and I built this bitch. It'd be Howie will be out there. I swear to you, halftime is supposed to be Kendrick Lamar. Bullshit. It'll be Howie Roseman out there. You know the dogs that you throw the Frisbee to? Howie will throw the Frisbee, fucking catch it himself. If that team's out in front like they were against the Washington Redskins. This guy will be throwing the Frisbee to himself at the end of the game. You know, you got to run that little legs, got to move. Those little legs, you know, jumps out. Howie would dive for the dude. If Howie Roseman wins the Super Bowl, he'll be diving for the Frisbee. This guy will be up and down the sidelines. Oh, my God. That's a storyline to keep an eye on, man. Hey, you'll think he's Lee Corso. Only difference is this guy makes sense. How you doing? Hey, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Tell me where we are in the likes. Wanted to get to 500 if we're right around that number, man. I'd be really happy about it. Come on, guys. Let's see where we are in that likes. Thank you guys again. You guys have been great here, man. 18 more. Let's do this, man. Don't forget our good friends at BetUS. Great chance for you guys during this football season. 12 days away. Okay? From Super Bowl 59 for the YouTube 150. That's right. Signing bonuses up to $2K. And your second and third are 125%. And if you're into crypto, it's 200% with your signing bonuses up to $2K. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year, live wagering on all major games. Now, look, if you're looking for your own private account executive, do me a favor, log onto the website at betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sil sent you.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The following is a real testimonial from the father of a young injured victim.
I didn't think she was going to make it.
Major Perry's daughter was the victim of a horrific accident caused by someone else's negligence.
If you don't find the right counselor, law firm that you're looking for, you will get lost in the wilderness.
Badly injured? Call the Fritz and Bianculli Law Firm at 215-458-2222 and find out why they say, "We got this."
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong as the #1 health insurer in the region. No IBX is always looking out for you.
We noticed that there was mold creeping into our basement about a year and a half ago, and wanted to make sure that we were getting rid of the problem permanently. We actually reached out to several different contractors to get it resolved, and actually 2 of them recommended DryTech to us as a long-term solution. Other than the noise factor, we wouldn't even know that there was work being done on the basement level. It's really been a clean process for us.
Score and save this football season on your car insurance. Before the next game, save up to 40% on your auto insurance policy. That's right, 40% savings. Call an audible this season and contact the Del Val Insurance Group. They're an advocate for you, not an insurance company. That means they'll get you the right coverage and save you up to 40%. Call managing partners Fran or Jim of Del Val Insurance, 215-354-0122, or score and save at dvigi.com. dvigi.com.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. And in the final segment here, last couple minutes of the program, please hit that like button. You guys are almost at 500, man. You're 12 away. You guys killed it, man. Thank you. Yesterday was over 600. Today, you're right at 500. Way to go. I ranked the 10 best players in this Super Bowl. The 10 best football players, according to Big Sills, in this Super Bowl. Number 10, left tackle, Philadelphia Eagles, Jordan Mailata. Number 9, from the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Number 8, guard, but having to play tackle, Joe Tooney, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 7, All-Pro linebacker Eagles, Zach Bond. Number 6, Lane Johnson, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 5, Reid Humphrey. Number 4, A.J. Brown. Number 3, Chris Jones. Number 2, Saquon Barkley. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes. 6 Eagles and 4 Kansas City Chiefs. I didn't see any Hurts on there. Anyway, we'll see what we can do tomorrow. Maybe we'll get the rest and we'll rig it. How you doing? Guys, you were super today, man. Thank you guys so much for what you did. Please hit that like button on the way out. Hey, Embrace, how you doing, dog? Please hit that like button on the way out the door. Big Joe, Big Z, thank you guys so much. 2 to 6 tomorrow. And we'll see you on the flip side.